Just we got more to sample.
I get it.
By the way,
I don't know what to do with that glass.
so Mark, throw up the next tee.
Once the raft had reached the landing point, the race was still not over.
You remember when we were his age and like guys our age would tell stuff, and what did you do?
Let's get you to bed, Grandpa.
It's free.
All kinds of things, and then
And I wanted
pretty soon-
I just wanted to blame every motorcycle problem on you. I might have cut it off. Welcome to Tech Talk Taco Tuesday, episode number 272, and I'm guessing it might be 271. It might be 271. I don't know.
Close enough.
Sorry, everybody, I didn't upload the last episode. My name is Jimmy Lewis. I am the host of this show. I made it myself, and it's relatively horrible, but millions of people watch it every week on the YouTubes and the Facebooks, and if you're there, we thank you. Comment. We go straight to the questions in the comments, and if you're watching us on Instagram Live right now, you're right there. You can't hear some of the stuff that we're hearing, and you also can't comment because I can't read those just yet. I'll do something in a minute to fix it, but show kind of started like with a storm, but I have good special guests, co-hosts. We like to keep it simple because I can't remember most people's names. I can't even spell people's names, but I can spell the name Jimmy, and luckily my co-host tonight is Jimmy Tyler. Yeah, the other Jimmy.
The other way.
Yeah, TJ says Jimmy's. Yeah, that's right. A lot of Jimmys here, and we can answer your motorcycle and motorcycle product related questions. But we haven't have a special guest tonight.
Yes, sir.
Back by popular demand, because he can answer 9 out of 10 beta questions, and then the 10th one that I can't answer, he can answer that one too. Gary Smith.
Howdy.
And Gary is from Sportsman Cycle in Vegas. And what's your suspension company?
Dynamic Dirt Suspension.
Dynamic Dirt. And I'm checking your sound levels when you talk, so we're going to do one more little... Say that one more time.
Dynamic Dirt.
Oh, that's quiet. I'm going to give you more.
I can hear it in my headphones.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
Let's try it one more time.
Dynamic Dirt Suspension.
It looks quiet on the monitors. If Gary's sound is bad, tell us right now so I can fix it, because it'll save me a lot of time in what we call post-production, which I don't know how to do. So let me see this stupid camera here. I'm going to flip this around. If you ever wondered, Instagram, are you on Instagram, Nolan? Yeah, wave to your fans on Instagram. Okay, good. Yep. So this is our studio. This is what we're doing right now. There's Gary. There's Jimmy. And here's the other Jimmy. So I'm going to flip this camera around. I think that I do like this. And if you have any questions or comments on the YouTubes, just let us know here on the Instagrams. We might answer your questions. Wow, we're getting a lot of people. They want me to wave at all these people. I don't know. I got to find something to set it up on. Usually, you know what the best thing to set it up on?
Tacosaurus, maybe. No,
Oh yeah, the Tacosaurus is that'd be a good stand for that right there. You see how much we prep for this show. It's the best it's the best motorcycle show on the internets at the moment that I know of. Here, watch this. I'll put a patch in between here. It's how we work. It's how we roll.
Balance is everything, right?
Yeah. So if you have questions, you peoples on the Instagrams, go ahead and do it. This show would not be possible without the help of our sponsors. We have lots of sponsors, but the best sponsors are Yamaha. Right, Gary?
I don't know. They don't pay me. They're paying you, then good.
So yeah, we're proudly sponsored by Yamaha. They help you bring you this show. They make sure that they have no control over the stuff that I do, but they make sure that we do stuff. And we try to do good stuff. It's a public service. So if you're interested in a new Yamaha, hey Nolan, how was my Yamaha today? Fucking gas guzzling monster, ripping sand washes to no avail. Yeah, it's fast. Yeah, fast.
Yeah.
You know, I don't like to talk about myself that much, but this one exception. I have an IMS tank on my WR450, and it measures how much fuel. The little gauge measures how much fuel, and I didn't know how much fuel it really took, but we were doing kind of some fuel consumption stuff, and the tank is 2.8 gallons, 2.7 is kind of what it said, and I mean I'm down to there's this much in the bottom. We just made it perfect, but 73 miles or something on 2.7. Yeah. I had a great time on my Yamaha WR. Like I said, when I want to go have fun, I have a lot of bikes in my stable. That's the one I take. Although it wears me out. It should probably be on a 250F.
Yeah. You still got that one?
I got a 250F. I got a brand new that brand new one.
The
YZ250 FX. So Devil's Rumble says, "What's up, Vatos?"
What about Vato?
That's why it's tight in the top, you know.
I see.
It's pressed, fresh pressed. Nice shirt. Okay. Other, and we're gonna get to your questions real quick. Hey, if you're on the Instagrams, and we're gonna cut you off pretty quick because nobody has a 10-second attention span on Instagram, 20. So we've way exceeded that. We'll clip you. You just go over to our YouTube or our Facebook channel, and we're live there, and you can answer your questions there. Because I think I didn't wave at everybody. Since I didn't wave, then they don't ask questions, and it goes wrong from there. So I'll hang up in you real soon. Other sponsors, Climb. It was chilly today. Chilly. I'm looking over at Nolan Cade over here, who is a co-host, but he didn't talk, so I fired him. But he's here training. He might get a second chance. I actually said to some people that he may be more quiet than Logan.
Yeah, that's saying something.
That's a trait. And he's not a smartass either. So there's some respect there for not being a kind of a smartass. Okay. What else? So Climb. Climb cold temperatures. I had some Windstopper gloves. I was wearing this. What do they call it? The base layer. Aggressor 3.0.
Oh, you went 3.
I went 3 in the chest, but I didn't have to put anything underneath my pants down below, and super comfortable. And I put my Windstopper liner in my helmet because the Climb helmet's super vented.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to get brain freeze, so I put Windstopper liner. So all the Climb, like the F3, they come with a Windstopper little liner, and it just clips in there, and it blocks all the vents. And at the end of the ride, my head was a little sweaty, but I never got brain freeze. So that's what you got to do in the cold weather. So Climb. Of course, you can watch this sponsor board up behind us. It flashes with a lot of sponsors. Bulletproof Designs, DDC chain wheels, Scott goggles. Who else helps us out? What's the other ones that are floating around up there? Oh, Fast Company. My wrists are not swollen today. Flex handlebars, yeah. Running my Scott steering stabilizer, my Pirelli tires. It's sound like I'm on a podium.
Sorry,
Getting there.
Getting there? Yeah. Try to interrupt this message with some ads. Okay. TJ says we should put a whole ass dirt bike on the wall behind you. Well, if Logan lived out here, that would be a good project for him. Yeah. But I got a CR80 motor and I got an XR100 motor. What else do I need? Okay. Let's get to, I'm going to hang up on these guys. So let's go. What's the first question? Oh, that's
TJ doing DUA
that's
class.
you need to. Okay. So if you're just watching this live and seeing this, I'll tell you what if you see the chat, I'll save it as a reel. If you see the chat, there's some stuff in there that we're not gonna read, just to keep the innocent people innocent.
Yeah. Okay.
You should probably keep that private. He's happy to see Gary. Oh, what does some guy named Casey McCoy say?
I'll be doing a lot of riding in cold temps lately, 10 to 25 degrees. What is the right oil, 040 or 540? Gary. Maybe you tell me.
Yeah, I'm going to defer to Gary.
What's cold? Because out here we're still. Today was the coldest day of the year.
10 to 25.
And we were at 40 degrees. So
this morning?
yeah.
It's 32. It was 31, 32. this morning when we got up. It's Pahrump. Yeah. See, you're over there in Vegas. You have all that cement and asphalt that holds the heat. Over here, it's Valley of the Dirt People. And it cools down a little bit, but it warms up quick.
Yeah, 0 to 25 degrees.
So
usually the thinner on that stuff? I'd probably do the 040. But also refer to your manual because it depends on each bike.
Yeah, and just because I know a little bit about this, he's using it on a snow bike.
Okay.
He's got the track.
McCoy's a Mammoth?
It could be. Allegedly, yeah.
Allegedly.
Yes, Gary's low volume. Okay, I'm going to bump Gary a little bit more. So thank you, Dave Ritter. T7X. Does that mean Tenere?
Yeah, got it.
T7? Yeah, good. Super top secret code all of us Yamaha guys speak. Again, I ride a Tenere. I actually considered taking my Tenere to the National Air and Hound this weekend. Because there's some long roads up there and some dry lake beds. I'll let that sucker eat. So speaking of that, it's the number is usually when they have the two numbers, it's like 10W30. And it's 0W, which means winter or cold. Or W means cold, correct?
Yeah, the first number.
And that's kind of viscosity. So that's when the motor is sitting and the oil's cold. You don't want a thick sludge because if it was just straight 30 weight, it wouldn't flow very well.
Yeah, you'd run dry. All your cam journals and everything would be a little bit starved.
So it's, if your bike's like not sitting outside and it's inside, and Chris Reel could probably come on, but he's actually in a different time zone now, so it's probably hard for him to see, but he's a petroleum engineer. He knows all this stuff. Have you ever tried to clean oil off of a part?
A couple times.
Yeah, a couple times. It's not easy. It doesn't come off, right? Mm-hmm. It usually sticks. So I always think about it like if your engine's doing what your engine does and you shut it off, there's oil everywhere and it's kind of stuck there. And Chris used to famously say the best oil is having oil, like make it not go away. And I could see where if it's like a thick, sludgy goop, and it might be in some of the journals or where it gets pumped around, it could be a little bit difficult to move. But if you just started your motor up and didn't take off and go wide open, it's probably going to warm up enough to start moving, and the lubrication that's already in the area, like you think about where it's been spraying all over the cam, or even inside the cam journals where we're really concerned about it, or on the big end or the small end of the crank. There's oil in there already.
Yeah.
And it would be kind of hard for that to not like kind of warm up and do its job by the time the rest of the warmed up oil got there. Does that make sense?
As long as you don't just...
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're not doing it right after an engine rebuild or something to where it's just dry.
Right, yeah. And in engine rebuild, I always put a little assembly lube on that kind of stuff most of the time. Depends on the build and what it's doing. Sometimes just pour oil all over stuff and let it go. So yeah, it's pretty much the only time that first number matters is kind of on the startup and in the engine cycling and I don't know how much that affects the other number and the longevity of the oil. That'd be a great question for a petroleum engineer. Like, does a 0W, now I know a lot of vehicles, like cars are speccing with that kind of stuff, and then they're kind of trying to blame some of the problems, some of the durability problems on the oil that was specced versus what you could be putting into it.
Oh, yeah.
And this is all stuff I learned from the internet, which means, well, just like you, watching the show on the internet, so everything we say could be completely false, and we're just acting like experts. Although I'll pull out some credentials or awards or something later if I need to, just to prove whatever. Wet sand washes are great. Yes.
I agree.
Yeah. TJ Durst, should I Ironman the 10 hour? and the 6 hour is coming in March.
I think he meant to say 6 hour.
He meant 6 hour.
I think that's
You got
what the
confused.
asterisk means. Yeah.
Is there 10 hour or 12 hour? There used to be. It was 10, and sometimes it was 12.
24.
6, 10, 24.
Yeah.
Okay. Or maybe he wants to do both. I mean, he can do whatever he wants.
These side panels, bro.
Side panels. He's got that, we like to call it retard strength. And by that I mean it's his ignition timing is a little off.
Oh, we love you, though.
Yeah. Do what you got to do. He could probably if he wasn't a crasher. Because he kind of every once in a while does it. He kind of has a little bit of a, if he would adopt the Jimbo program just a little bit more, and work on slowing down to go fast.
Logan said
We've tried.
He's getting better.
Logan said he's getting there.
He's
working on your program.
He's fast enough.
I've rode with him for a while, so I don't know.
He's fast enough to where he could probably get on a really good team for one of those events. There's always guys that have access to bikes and stuff, but there's such a shortage of riders that can kind of hop on different brands and do different things at those team races. So if you're in, here's my racing advice, people. I don't know why I give racing advice, but here's my racing advice. So let's just say you're like a struggling guy trying to get some support or get noticed or do something. There's always at team races, whether it's, you're doing long distance desert team races or these Grand Prix, or they're doing, endurance racing stuff. There's always guys that are looking for good quality partners, but all the other fast guys have rides.
Yeah. So it gets kind of.
So, sometimes teams have a couple riders and then those guys always team up, but then there's guys that we'll call it free agent. You want to be like, if you're this free agent guy, you can hop on one of those things, and maybe that's a way to get noticed, show what you can do, but you got to do it. So
when we were doing the 24 hour with him, he was supposed to be sleeping at night because we were going to pull double shifts. We're like, we're going to let TJ sleep so that way we could just do 2 hours at a time.
Yeah.
And when it was my turn, he went to the next pit. And since they all went to bed, he just jumped on their bike and just started burning laps for them in the middle of the
He
night.
just found a 250F over there. And
Like, you're supposed to be sleeping and covering for us, but let's
okay,
get you
so
some more time in.
Okay, so there was some not for lack of effort, but there could have been some irresponsibility in the job description. The way the job description was educated.
yeah.
Yeah. Huh?
Yeah, Gary laid out a pretty good plan for it. Gary's good at programming.
Did he break your bike?
No.
He rode it fine?
Yeah,
Hauled ass?
One, it wasn't my bike.
Oh.
But yeah, he wasn't our problem child that race. So
Oh, who was? Naming names or what?
we decided, okay, for our plan is we're going to run 3 guys 2 hours at night so they could get a good 6 hours of sleep, and actually cover us in the day. And on his first lap after I was done for the day, he decided to break his collarbone. Yeah. So then we were all waking up guys again that were supposed to be done.
That could be a little bit of a problem.
But TJ slept in his boots the whole day. He never got out of them once.
Let's see. We have a question here. Best dual sport tire. Says Joe Bummy. You want to finish that for me?
Yeah, the Dunlop D606 has been really rock solid for me, but it's time for new rubbers.
Okay, I think
I don't have nothing here.
I'm checking sound levels. I don't know how this works. I should have put labels on this stuff, but I don't know. Hold on a second. I'll fix the sound.
I need a sound technician.
Satan stepped in.
Yeah, he's running the show. It's the 606 is good for longevity. As a Pirelli guy, the MT21 comes to mind as a long-lasting, we'll call it medium performance tire. So there's tires that go for. I always say there's performance and there's durability, and you cannot have both at the top level. They've tried. and every time somebody kind of pushes the boundaries at one thing or the other, they usually mess up there. So 606 is a great option there. The MT21 is a great option, and those are probably, as far as like the high durability and acceptable performance, those are probably there. And I really lean on the durability stuff. If you want more durability, Motos make some tires that will never wear out. Kind of like, remember the Terraflex tires?
No, Casey found a pallet of them and made us mount some on his restoration bikes.
Yeah, horrible, but would never wear out. Motos tires, there's some Motos tires that will never wear out, but the performance is kind of down a level. And then there's some other ones that are a little higher performance and wear out a little quicker. So some of the Kenda stuff comes to mind in that world as well. So Takamoto Co. says,
you got to read that one.
I can't read.
Oh, Jimmy, it's your job now.
Now, Gary's epic beard is drifting towards Haggerty territory, and I'm here for it.
Just trying to fit in on Boulder Highway, Can't keep getting asked for money if you look like you don't have none.
Hey, don't worry. This other guy I know, he's pimping out his donkeys to try to make ends meet these days. Yeah. Devil's Rumble 71.
Is that Tyler rated the Aerosmith, Tyler?
Of course you are.
I'm kind of a white dude. Him, I don't know about no more.
Let's see. TJ Durst.
Oh, he already asked that. Yeah. Oh, put a YZ250 on the wall.
Like a YZ250. Well, I got a Yamaha side panel or radiator shroud up there. So what do you know? And then TJ asks,
Jimmy, what was your favorite type of racing you've done? GPS, Hare and Hound, Baja, Dakar, everything you've done. What's the most fun?
Oh, the most fun.
Most fun.
Trials.
No, I trials is too much like golf, and I mean I hate golf. I like riding trials, but it's just like you just one little screw up and you just get to stew on it because you're just you put your foot down, and
yeah, it's awesome. You think about it for weeks.
Yeah, no. Most fun, in all honesty, was probably Grand Prix racing.
Oh, really?
Like SRA Grand Prix at Glen Helen. Those were like the most fun because it was a really good core group of competitive guys. There was when I was racing, everybody was really fast, and it was kind of like this combo between moto and off road, and it was just like pure racing. I don't know, I liked it, but low key. Mm-hmm. There was no pressure. There was no points. There was actually points for it, but it wasn't like a championship or anything.
All right.
But just good times. I just remember really enjoying. I mean, I got excited to ride anytime I ride a motorcycle, but I got excited to go in SRA even when it was kind of nothing. Fun. I mean, but yeah, when it's fun, it was that. But like just the most amazing racing ever was Dakar for sure. Like Dakar in Africa, by far and away, like life-changing, just like suffering to the maximum level, joy to the highest level, riding in places that I had dreams about and I didn't even know it existed. I got to ride there, and just some pretty cool stuff. Chris Real in the house.
Yeah, we got the oil.
Repeat the oil question, please. Just tuned in. Somebody probably texted him and told him to get on. So, Chris, the question was, somebody is riding in cold temperatures, 15 to 10
degrees,
10 to 15, 10 to 30 degrees or something like that, and wanted to know if it would be better to run like a 0W40 versus a 5W. That was what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah, so really the questions. If you want to call in, I can put you on the horn. I could probably call you. So just throw it up in the chat and we can go live with your awesome voice. Mark Daniel says happy TTTT. That's Tech Talk Taco Tuesday. He didn't put the 5th T there, so I'm kind of bummed. But it's probably because we're not setting a good example, Jimmy Tyler.
What's the 5th? Oh, tequila.
Since you said it, Gary, can you handle the show for a minute while I get this set up? Is this acceptable?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay.
I'm excited.
Yeah, you do that. Good job at handling the show, Gary.
No problem.
And that I remember the last time you said
you got a sniffer here?
That's yours. I got one. I remember last time you said you clammed up a little bit because you thought you were in front of 27 million people.
It'd only been like what, 5 million instead?
Yeah, it's a lot. So just we got more to sample.
I get it.
By the way,
I don't know what to do with that glass.
So Mark, throw up the next tee, and throw up the next tee, and we'll. I'm trying to get this other thing to share. Okay. Yeah, throw up one more tee, and then we'll show you what we got. We'll have more teas, tequila. So cheers.
Cheers.
Oh wow, you didn't get a little one either. So for anybody that's curious about that emergency camera here, it's a Trace Generations.
No way to translate that.
No.
Can't hack that code.
Yeah, so that's what we got going there. I think Chris is trying to text. I'm not really sure. Oh, unfortunately, Chris is sitting in the airport for the next hours. Oh boy. Okay, I can give him a call.
Get him on a blower.
Hey, my bad happy tech talk. So see, well, he'll tell us in a minute what he's having. Mark Daniels, a big top fan of the show. I really appreciate people joining in. So, Gary, you know what? I'm just going to put you on. What happened there? I broke. How did that? That's not supposed to happen. Let's turn this.
Drunk.
The camera might be drunk. There we go. There's Gary. So just to put you on the spot, now you're the main guy on the screen. So introduce yourself to everybody.
Well, I'm Gary. I own Sportsman Cycle in Vegas. I like dirt bikes. Not as much as this guy, I guess, because I only have like one or two. But
Not when you count the shop. You got 50, 40 in there.
that don't count.
Okay.
I got to sell those to people.
Yeah, all right.
But no, just like dirt bikes, like riding. Really, really enjoying trials lately.
But you're like the beta whisperer, though.
He is in doubt.
So Jimmy Tyler, tell everybody about the last beta conundrum you had, because we had the link the link story.
Yeah.
Tell them about your last one.
The link story where Gary diagnosed that from left field in 2 seconds. So other day, as my bike wouldn't start, hitting the button, no fuel pump. I'm like, okay, fuse. Check the fuses, good. Connectors, pull the tank off, this and that. Okay. Connectors look good, everything looks good. Battery's charged. Okay, cool. I got Gary in my back pocket. Call Gary before I'm even finished telling what I'm saying. He goes, the kill button's stuck in. Okay, sure shit. He was right. 2 second diagnosis. He's got it. And then Jimmy rang me in like 1 second later after I hung up with him. Like, what are you doing? I'm like, just getting kind of humiliated again by Gary figuring it out from without even seeing it.
Because I remember the whole the fork touching the ECU.
Yeah.
Or the voltage regulator.
Yeah, regulator.
Voltage regulator, and then making the bike stop that we struggled with for forever.
We had the injector out of that bike in the middle of a canyon, checking the injector.
Oh, is that what we did?
We went that far.
Okay.
But
Chris Reel, welcome to Tech Talk Taco Tuesday.
Hey guys, how's everybody tonight?
We're doing great. Hopefully it sounds like the sound's good. You can hear him, Gary. We're all good. So Chris is our resident petroleum expert, a petroleum scientist, we like to call him.
Yeah.
And he's stuck in an airport, so he's willing to take some time out for Tech Talk Taco Tuesday. And so both Gary and I said we conferred that if you have oil, that's the best thing, even if it's cold or warm or whatever. But having oil is the number one thing. Is that right?
True.
And we also talked about how hard it is to clean oil off of a part that's inside of an engine. If you're taking an engine apart, it's difficult to clean off. So it doesn't matter whether it's warm or cold, that oil is going to be on those parts.
True.
And generally, that amount of oil is enough to lubricate it until the engine warms to a point where the oil that might have gotten a little bit thicker, even if it wasn't a zero weight or something like that, starts doing its job.
Yes, but you know when you've got extremely low temperatures, you got to remember that oil flows very, the higher viscosity. The higher viscosity grades of oil flow very, very slow when they're really cold, and so having a slightly lower viscosity oil like a 5W or a 10W, the oil will flow into the nooks and crannies and actually get to the bearings and stuff a lot easier than a higher viscosity oil.
So at what temperature would you say it's critical to start worrying about that W number?
Somewhere around 30 degrees, 25 to 30 degrees Fahrenheit. That starts making a big difference.
So to the point that it could actually cause engine damage?
Yes, if the oil can't get, if the thick oil can't get there because it's thicker than goose grease, it's not going to get there to do its job. So you kind of need to balance the the flow rate versus the viscosity. So if you're going to be riding in really cold weather, the 5Ws are 5W 30 or 5W 40 or 5W 50 are a really good safe bet. For us motorcycle guys, and we talked about this back in episode 33 or 34. Remember, we got no oil pressure, and so the oil isn't really pumped really vigorously to the engine part. So we kind of need it to flow there on its own. So going with a slightly lower viscosity grade is a really good bit of guidance, and that's covered in detail in your owner's manual.
Oh, I'm sure, but nobody reads that. So
I know.
So Gary and I were sort of wrong.
No. You're 90% right.
90%.
If you've got oil, you got oil in there, you're ahead of most.
Yeah. Well, I mean, usually when the problems occur. So I'm just thinking, like, okay, let's just say you had 10W30, just to say, or 10W. It doesn't matter. So you have some 10 weight in there, and you start a motor up. Let's just say Honda XR80, for instance, something simple, some nice just aluminum cam journals. It's just pumping out of a single pump, just right up the cylinder stud, wet sump motor, all these things. If you're kicking it and you can feel drag on the Kickstarter because it's that cold, it's like, oh, okay, this stuff's like sludge or something. Let's just say you do get that started. Do you feel that there's enough like residual oil for that motor to warm to a point where that oil would flow with like 10 weight versus 0 weight?
Yes.
Okay. So we were right, Gary. Yeah. See, Jimmy Tyler kept silent here. He didn't want to look like it.
I'll bust in now so you guys said the W means winter? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
The
W means the cold number.
Okay. The oil's viscosity at 32 degrees. 10W, 5W. That's the oil's viscosity at 32 degrees. The other number is the oil's viscosity at 212 degrees.
Oh, those are okay.
So it's like a range. I had to learn this stuff too.
No, I didn't know that. I just thought the W stood for weight.
No, winter. That's
well, it's 10 weight or 30 weight or
So are they all 10 Ws or do they make them without a 10W? Or
well, they make
everything have a W?
Yeah, if it's 0W, 5W, 10W, 15W, they're telling you what the viscosity is at 32 degrees.
Got you.
Yeah, I remember like my Nissan truck for some reason wanted 20W50
Okay.
back in the day, which seems, nowadays it seems like. And so why are all the oils now in the engine manufacturer they're recommending lower W numbers on the motors?
Corporate average fuel economy, CAFE.
Okay, because it gets better fuel economy with a
Thinner oil.
Thinner oil.
thinner oil.
Now, that doesn't mean it's going to seal the rings as good. That doesn't mean it's going to, reduce more wear. And, if you do much reading on this subject, you'll find that many of the engine manufacturers, Ford and the rest of them, are replacing engines because they recommended too light of a viscosity oil for the application.
And that was mostly not in the first number, the W number. That was in the second number, correct?
Well, they went both ways. They went like 0.20s and 0.16s, and they really went thin on the oil. But in their defense, they went really high on the oil pressure. So they've when that engine is just starting to spin, it's got a really good oil pump that pumps a lot of pressure through the system and gets oil there. The challenge is with the engines having to come up to temperature pretty quickly, they rev a little bit. The cars have a cold start mechanism, and the reason why they rev quickly is to generate heat, so it lights a catalytic converter up, so it doesn't have cold start emissions. And so they're playing the game on emissions and on fuel economy, and that's good on certain types of designs. When you've got roller bearings and stuff, but when you have plain bearings, the lower viscosity oils with low oil pressure aren't exactly my first choice.
Okay, so is it in motorcycle we'll say dirt bike applications, and being kind of broad about this, regular dirt bikes, do we need to be concerned about the either the W number or the higher number? Like, should we be looking at like 5 or 10W50 or 10W40 as opposed to, I mean, of course the manufacturer is recommending exactly what they think you want, but everybody else is looking for an edge or an advantage.
Yeah. Well, personally, for the civilian longevity use guy, I tend to stay at I suggest staying at the higher end of the manufacturer's recommended viscosity range. If you're trying to qualify for Daytona or something, and you got lots of oil pressure, and you just can't afford to lose that 2% of horsepower, then the lower viscosity oils may give you that extra snap. But your longevity, your number of engine hours between rebuilds is going to pay the price. It's going to reduce.
So if you're running like a 5W20 in a high performance dirt bike, it's probably not going to be as good as running a 1540.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
I tend to run like a lot of 1540 stuff.
Yeah.
Some of my dirt bikes, it's just might be just a diesel oil. It might be actually I use the Dello, believe it or not. Yeah, because it's cheaper a little bit.
Well, it's cheaper, and the lower the spread in the numbers, the 1540s and stuff, the oil doesn't change as much in its temperature viscosity, and the only drawback is it might be a little bit it might be a little bit draggy when it's cold, and the clutch until the clutch gets warm, it may be a little bit draggy. So if you're if you're a whiny sack of crap and you got to have a Butterfinger clutch, well then
Let your bike warm up.
Yeah, you let your bike warm up.
Yeah. I mean, well, and then we get into the whole like warm up routines and rituals that I see guys doing these days, which just drives me bonkers. It's like just be nice, start it up, let it run for a little bit.
Doesn't hurt to be nice.
Yeah, I start my bike, then I put my helmet on, then my gloves on, and adjust my backpack, and then I check the tires because I'm always forgetting to put wind in the tires, and it takes about 2 minutes for me to go through my little drill, and then I just ride easy until I can feel the heat from the pipe on my legs, and then she's good to go.
Yeah, I usually reach up and do a little touch of the radiator, and I feel it through the glove, and I feel some warmth. I'm like, okay, now I can get on it, but. Even if I'm in a race or something like that, I'm going to start my bike up and kind of warm it up. And I'm not just going to let it sit there and idle, especially when it's a 2-stroke. Every once in a while I give it a rev, clean it out a bit. But I don't start it up and just instantly clean it out.
No, that's, there's a thing called thermal expansion of the piston, where the piston gets bigger than the hole.
Right.
And
yeah.
And it's it's a cold seizure, and a lot of guys take the the thermostats out, and then it takes forever for
a lot longer to warm up.
Yeah, and then when they get panicky and get in a hurry, they get on it, and the piston swells up, and it starts busting through the oil film, and we have an interference fit.
Yeah, there's going to be a National Hare and Hound this weekend, and the temperature is supposed to be around 30 degrees at the start. I wonder how those guys with no thermostats are going to be doing once they get that bike up to speed. Because could it potentially, you warm it up, it's sitting there, you warm it up, but then could you get it going and run enough cool air through your radiators to make that thing not happy?
It really depends. I mean, kind of on the speed of the guy. But if he gets a really, really good start and his bike's really, really cold, and he's got no dust and great traction, and he got his talent switch on, full upright and on, he better have warmed up his bike.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even if it's warmed up, could a modern bike, if you took the thermostat out, could you be like running it hard enough and getting enough cooling where it wouldn't be a good scenario? This is just something I just kind of came up and thought about, because I don't take the thermostats out because I've done some testing where we were doing basically we were testing different coolants and different cooling setups, and we had GPSs on the bike that were watching the coolant temps. It's amazing. It's amazing how the cooling system works as a system. They're designed as a system. And I'm pretty sure that the most of the time we're riding just regular riding and stuff. If you have a thermostat, it's wide open. It's no interference. But if, for instance, that radiator water starts cooling down, so when we put really big radiators on a bike, it actually started running less than optimum temperature. It was running too cool, and this was back in the carbureted days, so it wasn't like the fuel injection was making changes for this and stuff. So the bikes would actually kind of run like crap, especially when it was really cold and it could cool the water down too much.
Yep.
So I wonder. My question is like, could you overdo the system? Like overcool the bike and then have let's say an interference thing, because your cylinder starts getting your piston's nice and hot inside there, but your cylinder says, I'm going to cool this bitch down.
Yep. And when you need to have equalized temperatures, and when the cylinder is stone cold and the piston is really hot, the expansion, of the piston takes up that clearance. And with today's motorcycles, you've rebuilt motors, the clearance is tiny. It's not like the good old days when there was 4 to 6 thousandths of skirt to cylinder clearance. It's much less than that now.
Yep. I got someone pinging me about like what kind of tequila we're having, and they did a call out, and so we matched it there. But Yeah, I don't know. I see a lot of people do a lot of crazy stuff, you know, and they say it's doing it for this reason, and then maybe they haven't done like some of the research, or it's just like, oh, bigger radiator is always better. You know, got to keep my bike cool, or taking the thermostat out makes it so it flows better. And it's like, oh, okay.
Well, taking the thermostat out, you know, you can cycle the coolant too fast. And
that's the scenario we were just talking about. That you know, especially when it's cold, it's going too fast. But even maybe when it's, I mean, if the thermostat is designed in, which it is, it's designed in at a flow rate, and you take this thing out, and all of a sudden you have this big giant hole, and that was meant to be the restriction.
Yes, and you know, I mean, and running without the thermostat. I mean, I get it, I understand, but it really depends upon, you know, on what your ambient temperatures are and what your incoming and outgoing water temperatures really are, and most people don't monitor that.
Yeah. And I think, it's a hard pour on that thing there, Jimmy. Don't worry, Johnny Campbell spilled the really expensive stuff all over the table.
He did?
Yeah, because you got to let that little zone fill up before. That's kind of like what happens when you take your thermostat out of your enduro dual sport bike.
Yeah.
But you know, a lot of high competition. High level competition bikes and stuff, the motocross bikes, and they don't have thermostats because they're designed to be run hard, and that's the way it is. But I think bikes that have wider ranges of use might need a thermostat.
True, and then you know what a lot of people kind of forget in the entire equation is the radiator cap pressure, the blow off pressure. You kind of need to balance the system.
So don't just go slapping heavier springs on there, things like that. You saying?
Yeah, you know, I mean, if you have a radiator cap that blows off at one pressure, maybe it's starting to relieve the pressure in the cooling system prematurely. You just push all your water out, and you know the water, if it's under pressure, it actually takes a higher temperature to make it boil, and having a pressurized system keeps the bubbles from getting so big on the hot spots around the exhaust valve.
Okay, so on that thing about. So it's not just always better to go and throw a higher pressure cap, even though it can help sometimes. It can help sometimes when you overpressurize the system, like some motorcycles really like a higher pressure cap, and then sometimes you put a higher pressure cap on that, and that pressure overrides something like a head gasket. Well, I was going to say impeller shaft seals.
An impeller shaft seal. I mean, the pressure's going someplace.
Exactly. There's a level. Again, it's all designed into the system. So kind of like I always say just kind of keep it simple. If it was working fine, why would you change it? Or do you is there a specific need for you to do what you're doing? Yeah, because I've seen people put the high pressure caps on bikes, and then they wonder why all of a sudden that little weep hole between their case and their thing is now their pressure relief thing. So
and I'm not opposed to changing the pressure cap at elevation, because of the difference in what the boiling point is of the water. So it's like there's a big difference on ambient air density and air pressure on how I want things to run. And so it's no different than anything else. I mean, if you're riding in the desert, you don't want your winter gear on, but if you're going to Mammoth and it's freezing cold, you definitely want your winter gear. So I mean, where we racing is and how we racing. That's how we're going to set the vehicle up.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
and that's the difference between kind of like knowing it or just going to the some crazy YouTube channel that just disseminates all this crazy information. Because you would not know that Chris Real is a certified petroleum engineer. He's owned oil companies before. He owned the oil company that caused my KTM to seize. Have I ever mentioned that, Chris? To you before?
Yeah, you have, and you know, and I'm really proud of that because you know, I mean, look at all the R&D you did, you know, and
yeah,
and we're still friends.
that oil, like I tell people, that oil was good for 99% of the people, not for me and Danny Hamill. It was just, we were just that little percentage above where most people were holding their bike wide open going to bombs, and I bet you I still have cans of the Duralube. I have some of the Duralube 2-stroke oil. And was that one of the, no, it was another brand that kind of was always recommending 100 to 1.
Oh, there was AMSOIL there for a while and Neo for a while. And, you know, and, you know, there, you know, the technology in back in the day, you know, when, you know, we went from when the standard of the day was 16 to 1 and we came out at 50 to 1, it blew everybody's brain. And then some of the aircraft synthetics came out and said, well, you know, really 100 to 1 is possible. And there was a lot of technology being brought forward really quick. And
there was a lot of evolution at that time for sure. And
you know, I mean,
and so I'll just kind of say that, like, so it was a team sponsor, and we were really working with them to try to make the oil better. So we would run it and try different stuff, and just run it. And so at the end we'd end up, you know, we try to run it, and then we seize our bike, and we go back to running. And Danny went back to running Maxima, and he was running the Caster stuff just because that's what. Yeah, that's what his mechanic and they had run forever, and I went back to running CalGuard, which is a more synthetic oil. Yeah, and I had really good success with it. I knew, you know, because it's just what I'd been running and what I knew to run, and I knew, you know, whatever it was, 32 to 1, and then this, then whatever with our F&L race fuel, and I knew exactly what jetting it was, and we could try to adjust stuff, but we couldn't get the same level of performance we'd have to run just that much richer with the stuff we were doing at Duraloop, so the bikes weren't as fast. And then they would last, but we wanted the bikes to run 10/10s. And so it was kind of it was a real interesting time, but I was always pretty stoked that, you know, we'd come back to Chris and it was like, oh, you know, he's like, okay, we'll work on it. And then KTM saw the bill for all the cylinders.
Yeah. Well, you know, and you know, I mean, the KTMs of the day. Yeah, I mean, we're going from, you know, iron liners and Nicosol liners to all kinds of. There are a lot of things going on.
Yeah, there was changes everywhere.
You know, and power valves were different, and you know, but if you take a step back, you know, I mean, 5 years or so before you. On, you know, doing the oil thing, I mean, motorcycle frames were literally breaking in half.
Oh yeah, that's,
you know, and it's like, all right, there was a very, very steep evolutionary, you know, there was a big step, and there were failures at all different levels. I mean, frames, pistons,
shocks,
you know,
shocks
breaking,
fork lugs coming off the bottom, all kinds of stuff,
all kinds of things, and then
I just wanted to blame every motorcycle problem on you.
Well, I'll take the blame, and I'm not even retired yet. You know, I mean, hey, a little bit of DPS technical news I can share.
Oh, good. What's that?
I've opened an Eastern office. I now have an office in California, like I always have. I've moved it up to Kern County, and then I opened an office in Onslow County in North Carolina, which is out by Jacksonville. So I'm gonna terrorize the East Coast a little bit, and I'm commuting tonight back to the West Coast because I got some pretty cool motorcycles to test next week.
Oh, congratulations! I'm stoked to hear that because there is a lot of the industry that is back there and stuff now, and beautiful country back there. So,
I'm looking forward to it, and of course, I got a buddy up in Tennessee that I want to spend some time with, but there's some road riding back here I want to do, and so I gotta scratch around and get me a motorcycle back here. So
awesome.
I gotta put on the fishnets and stilettos and pimp out a bike.
Well, Chris, always awesome to have you on the show. Thanks for your expert insight on a lot of this stuff, and we'll keep just saying the best oil is oil. Until I get a sponsor. So if you know somebody out there is looking for, a podcast to sponsor, I can make sure that that's the number one best oil that I recommend every single time, except when I have to tell you what really the truth is, and then I'll probably say that too.
Well, the truth hurts, but when you speak the truth, you do raise the bar, so people have to try a little bit harder.
Well, I'm just trying to keep my credibility. I'm trying to keep my credibility here. So yeah. Awesome. Okay, Chris,
Jimmy.
Talk to you soon. Thanks a lot. See you. Bye.
Okay, take care. Bye.
I got some Duralube if you want some.
Chris Real, everybody. I always say Real, but it's Chris Real from DPS Technical. If you need petroleum services, he's the guy to go to, and he's always been like I said, I feel like he's a lot like me, just kind of straight shooter. Duralube, you probably have boxes of from the Casey days.
Yeah, when he passed, they brought all of his stuff from his garage to us, and we had cases and cases of brand new boxed up Duralube.
I'll run that stuff. I'm not afraid.
It's sitting at the shop.
The way I ride now, no problems. You might want to save that because at some point some of this stuff becomes like collector's items.
Oh, yeah.
And then, when somebody has a display with their old bike on it, you could, when these like 1990s KTMs come up, somebody will say, I have a Danny Hamill race bike, and there are probably a lot of them out there. You could set a couple cans of Duralube next to it.
That's $50 a can.
Yeah.
Sell them at Meekum.
So, Jeremy Schoening wanted to know Clase Azul versus Casamigos. My honest opinion, you got to watch my tequila podcast when I do it, which I'm going to start pretty soon. I don't know when, but it's on the agenda. It's like right after prepping another Husaberg. I'm going to, and after I get my truck put back together, and then I prep the Husaberg, and then I get my TTR 125 dialed in, then I can start a tequila podcast. But I actually prefer Clase Azul, and actually not this one, although this is really nice and smooth.
It's definitely good.
Yeah, I like the white bottle even better, but people say that it's a flavored tequila, and they don't like it. And the Casamigos is also flavored. So if you go say that on the internets like we just did, we're going to get shamed. Yeah. We're going to get tequila shamed. But wait till I start my podcast because it'll be the best shaming show you've ever seen. So, Jeremy, I hope you're my number one subscriber when I actually get that thing going. I had a question up here. Asher Leto has a question.
I am considering putting a thermostat back in my old DRZ 400 since I am riding in below freezing temps. Would this help the bike, or is it pointless? The previous owner removed the thermostat.
Like we just talked, I don't think it's going to hurt anything. It's designed. It'll warm up a little quicker, and it'll function the way it's supposed to. I think people take them out because it's kind of like some of these. Oh, I'm going to emissions delete it, and you find out what they're doing, and it doesn't really do anything.
But would a good statement be that anything with a fuel injection should definitely keep it in there?
I would say, since coolant temperature is pretty pivotal in how the bike runs, and they've probably designed it to run in the conditions that most people are using it in. What do you think, Gary? Yes?
I like a thermostat unless there's an issue with it leaking or anything else like that. Just because I've seen more problems with people running oversized water pumps and bigger radiators and the bike's not running how they're supposed to. But I've never had a problem with them. And
yeah, when we did this we did this test, it was back at Dirt Rider, and we just didn't have the space to publish it for the amount of information we had, but I learned so much because even when the rest of my staff was just sick of changing out radiators or switching coolant or switching impeller pumps and just doing all this stuff. And because we were riding a loop that we had that had some first gear, just make the bike steam stuff. And then we did some hill climbs. And so we had this thing, and it was taking a lot of time. And it got to the point where, these, after 2 or 3 days, these guys just like, I want to go home. This is bullshit. But I'm learning a ton. I'm ton from it. And this is where I really learned how much of a system it was, how well, because we were doing it on 2 different bikes. We were doing it on a 2-stroke and a 4-stroke. I think we used a Honda CRF and we used a KTM 250 or 300 2-stroke at the time to just try all these different things. And we were recording the data on a GPS. So you knew at what point the temperature was there. You saw how quickly it cooled down, how quickly it heated up, these different things. And it was amazing, kind of in some things, how little some of that stuff changed, but it was kind of amazing that some stuff did make a big difference, but did it make it better or did it do anything better? And like I said, this is pre-fuel injection, and what Jimmy just said, tying that fuel injection mapping to the, because it's to the temperature. If you can run it at that ideal temperature, the thermostat's going to help keep you there, especially when it cools down. It won't let it cool down to the point where they run like crap. And I saw this, especially when we went to bigger radiators, that bikes would run too cool, and then in that case the jetting was off, or the bike just didn't run as hard. So
I was surprised at how much it swung. Like the first time I actually saw it, like running a Voyager and getting onto a road in the cold and watching it drop 80 degrees instantly.
Yeah.
It was like, that makes sense of it now, closing that thermostat and keeping the warm coolant in there.
Yeah. So everybody's going with Clase Azul. I agree. The discussion chat. If you're listening to this, by the way, if you're listening to this as a podcast, thank you. Recommend it to a friend, because we just hit 25,000 subscribers on the YouTubes. I meant to say 250 million. 250 million on the YouTubes. I'm going to get one of those like awards or something like that. You see all the YouTuber guys, they always have it in the background. Like, not that I don't have enough awards already, but I'm really looking for that. So just keep subscribing, because that's the only reason that my life is not complete, even though I have this. Just to pull the champion of champions. If you want to race go-karts with me at Gene Woods Racing Experience, this isn't a commercial. It's basically not an. I guarantee you can't beat me at go-karts. Just if you're in Vegas and you're on Fremont Street, go to Gene Woods Racing Experience. Call me up. Just
Mario Karts.
It's better than Mario Karts. Look at like that guy in that. That's what I look like when I drive. And that guy's bald too, by the way, just like I am. And we can race, but that's one of my accolades, many accolades of that. I want to have a sticker with my name on it. Oh, I got one of those too. You got one of these? You know how you get one of these, Gary? You have to go riding with me.
All right. Let's go.
I invited Jimmy Tyler to hang out. We're going to have a sleepover, hang out here tonight, and then hop on dirt bikes and go ride in the morning. He said his life is too stressful. So
It's something about jobs for
Nolan, you get one of
me,
these.
and Gary got him.
Nolan went riding with me today. But did you not every time, just one and done. I got another one. There's another sticker around here that you get too. It's the Nevada Fuck You Racing sticker as well. What else we got going? Casey has a question again.
Would you change the ECU when running in the cold temps with heavy load on the engine? 450 XC. KTM.
I don't think so. Why would you? I don't see why you would change the ECU. Mm-mm. No, I mean, I would be careful to not change it to some like race one that isn't configured for that, because some of the aftermarket ECUs and stuff are only tested within a range, and when they go outside of that range, they don't have the same, we'll call it, parameters that a manufacturer provided ECU is, because the manufacturer wants to avoid any problems. So they're going to test it at the lowest temperature they think anybody would ever use it, and they're going to test it at the highest temperature. And I've seen some of these ECUs that are, quote, tuned by these guys. They're in a much smaller range. And in fact, like I can pick out some problems with some of them because they don't even work at the RPMs where a lot of regular people ride. They're tuned for racing, and like racers don't ride at 800 RPM. And the bike just like fumbles and sputters and stalls, where the stock one will actually go down there. So yeah, so no, I wouldn't change the ECU, especially on an XC, which is a race version. They're doing pretty good. And Jeremy wants everybody that's on the show to say hi if you're watching, because we know we have a lot of people that watch this show, but you're hiding in the backgrounds, lurking. You're only just a lurker, right? Or a troll?
No.
What are people when they hide around? Let's see. Ashlito says he's going to add the thermostat.
Good move.
Yeah, and he notices the bike runs a bit weird when it's cold and really cold temps. This is true. Gary Drummond.
HL96 on the top step soon, I hope. Hunter Lawrence, I think he's talking about.
Oh, yeah, because we do cover all the racing on this show. Only when we race.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talk about that sometimes. But I've been watching the Supercrosses. It's been good.
Very good.
Yeah, it's been good. It's kind of funny because as I get a little bit older, about it seems like every year I go less and less deep into the season because it starts maybe looking the same to me. Like, when you're actually watching, you kind of. I don't want to have this. I want to watch it and watch the race and kind of see what happens. But after that, when you start watching it and if they're not just battling, it's just like, oh, they're all doing the same stuff.
Yeah.
So
Some battling this week, though.
yeah, there's some battling. Mark Daniels.
On the cold morning with the KX500 in Baja, we would put a piece of cardboard over the radiator covers to allow the heat to come up, and then pull it off after the temps got to normal.
Yeah, that sounds
Yeah.
like a thing. And the KX500 does not have a thermostat.
No, sir.
Just they don't have one. So you see it with like diesel trucks that are like running and they cover up part of their radiator. There's an optimum temperature you want to have. You're just not cool. Yeah, when we're out here and it's 100 degrees in the desert, I don't think that's going to be an issue anymore. But now that we're talking about cold, it is one of the issues. So Gary, evidently, Sportsman Cycle and Beta has a demo ride coming up.
Yep, demo ride this weekend. We are hosting it out in Searchlight, where we usually do our Moran night race. And we are bringing out 8 bikes. I'm going to bring out my trials bikes too, so people could try those. But we're going to bring out the 200 X Pro, the 250 RX, a new Moto 1, 300 Race Edition, a Cross Trainer, a 350 Race Edition, 390 RS Dual Sport, the 430 X Pro, and the 450 RX, our Supercross bike. And you can get signed up on our website, dynamicdirt.com. We bring out lunch, have a good time, set up a little course. We're going to kind of make a novice line and an expert line this time, so that way you kind of fall in where you need to. But this will be our 5th one that we've done, and it's always a blast.
And so this is out in Searchlight, Nevada. So if you want to schedule a trip to Vegas this weekend, leave the wife in the casino, come out and ride some betas.
Yeah.
Do some demos on some betas.
It's kind of hard to ride a new bike without buying it
Yeah.
anymore, right? I mean,
Yeah, and I think if you've never ridden a beta before, I think everybody should, because they are a little bit different, and some of the characteristics people are like, oh, well, this fits me. It's just different than other things. Of course, I think they should just, after they ride that, they go, well, I just need a Yamaha, because Yamaha is a big sponsor of this show. But irregardless of that, you can also go ride one and go, man, I can't believe how good this bike is. And then you go see Gary at Sportsman Cycle. So it's in Searchlight, Nevada.
Yep.
Which is about 35 minutes outside of Vegas,
Yeah,
something like that.
pretty close.
Pretty easy drive. It's a neat little riding area out there. And how many riders do you usually get?
Right now we got about 50 signed up. We did start charging $20 to get in, so that they got kind of rid of the tire kickers.
Okay.
So it made it more intimate of the people that are really serious, and we kind of spend time with everybody to figure out, what questions you have, because they give us kind of a range of every bike, and you can kind of see where everything is kind of suited for you or not for you, and kind of put them head to head. And like, there's not a lot of people doing demos anymore. I know Yamaha is doing it. They're still bringing out the rigs to some places, which is awesome.
Yeah, it's if you ever get a chance to go do a demo, and you can sign up and ride multiple bikes.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's the kind of the cool thing is you have an opportunity to try some different stuff and see how it works, and you might be surprised at what you find that you like. You could hop on the 450, the Supercross bike, essentially the motocross bike, and go, oh, this is what I thought I wanted, and then you realize I was like, I'm an X-Trainer person.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the first time I ever got to ride a 500. I went out to one in Georgia in 2013 and rode KTM's 500 and was like, this bike's really easy to ride. I would have never thought, and
Right.
really kind of put it in my crosshairs of I kind of like the big bore 4-strokes.
Yeah, and I'll just say one thing about the Beta 200 is I have been I was KDX 200 guy. I was a KTM 200 guy for the longest time. I resisted the 300. Everybody else is going 300. I was happy with 200 just because I liked small bores and the light feel and all the stuff about
same.
that. But KTM's 200 motor, I could actually get my KDXs to run better than the KTM's. Just as far as like a real broad power, having some torque, and I think it had to do with a little bit more flywheel weight and different things like that. And there's a video someplace, go on our YouTube or go to Dirt Bike Test, and we did some stuff on a Beta 200. And the very first time I rode it, I was blown away by Beta built the motor that I had been trying to build forever, just as far as tuning and that's a lost art because all this KTM went down to 150. And I mean, granted, like 150 is just they made a racing class for it, and everybody's all 150 lighter, all this other stuff. It's not a 200. That little bit of torque that it loses is, especially for a larger guy like me, kind of catastrophic. Once you get them revving, they're plenty fast, but it's like the just the torque that it loses and the just the overall spread of the power. It's a pretty amazing bike. So it's kind of
Like, it's still one of my favorite. I think it's my favorite 2-stroke. I went and did Idaho City last year, and I had to borrow a buddy's 200 just to go race that one.
yeah.
And it's in the trees, and you feel. Once you hear it, you feel like you're going fast, even though I got completely waxed.
Oh, if you don't realize how slow you're going on a small bike when you feel like you're going a million because it's making all that stuff. Wait, Beta 250F in the pipeline.
It's coming.
It's coming.
They finally released. They had teaser photos, and they finally put up a video on the Italian Instagram.
Okay.
And so they're racing it for MXGP now. So it should be here for 2027. We'll actually have a 250 RXF, so 4-stroke 250.
And is it going to be motocross bike?
Yes.
To start with?
Yeah.
And then they'll probably branch it into off-road.
Maybe. I
You
mean,
would
we'll
think.
see. Because I know, like, people ask about our demo ride, too. I'm like, why are they not bringing the 350 RX? We don't even have enough to sell. Those bikes sold out so fast. And
That's the 2-stroke motocross bike.
yeah, I got to ride our first one down the street real quick just to try it. But
How was it?
it's a big bore. I like the 200s, man.
So compared to a 300, you could tell it was a 350.
Yeah, it had more of kind of like that, that big bore stuff like the KX 500. Like when you roll on it at the bottom, it's not that. It's not that hard hit off the bat. It just rolls on and then it starts pulling you out, and you're like, okay, there it goes.
It's torque over RPM. Like the torque is activating it and it's not building RPM super quick.
Just for the quick little ride, yeah, that's all I
Yeah,
can see.
yeah.
I mean, I'd love to go really try one and put a day on it to see, but I've sold 2, and that's all I can get so far.
So, okay. Well, so if you're interested in doing a demo ride, and Beta does these all over the place, correct?
Yeah, they send them. They have different pods that they send to each dealer, and it's on their website, betausa.com, and you can kind of track where it's going to be. We kind of get the first ones because it's not cold out here, so our bikes are brand new. They have 0 miles on them, so they're not hammered yet or anything from anybody else. And
I'm amazed, like, because I've done KTM demo rides and I've done Yamaha demo rides before. I'm amazed at how well kept the bikes are. Like I would think they would be, more beat, but then the KTM and Yamaha seem like they do them in conjunction with like races and stuff, and it seems like it's a higher level client that gets on them. They're not out crashing them and beating them up, but I know when they got crashed, they got pulled right out and they went and
yeah,
tuned them right back up and got them all set back up. So, but it's a great way to try different bikes and to see, you know, if you how do you know other than
I'd be
having
a 4-stroke guy when you think you're a 2-stroke guy. On and on and on. I mean,
yeah, you were that guy. Well, actually, it's funny. I told you this. So
first time you rode with me,
Jimmy,
I might
you're
not rode
a
with
beta guy now.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and so he was always KTM. Well, for the longest time, it was KTM. And the very first time I saw you ride the beta, I'm like, what happened? Like a whole different guy. And I rode your bike, and I didn't particularly like it. You know, it was kind of like it was some things I would change, but I'm like, it works for him. And he rides my bike, and he's like, I don't want to ride this anymore.
No, that's yeah, exactly. But yeah, you spotted it right away the first time when I rode that bike with you. You went, whoa.
Yeah. So
You're a beta guy.
if you have any beta questions, it's beta question. If you have any technical problems with your beta, or you know somebody has a beta and they're having issues, set up anything, tell them to join into the show right now. You know, call your friend, tell them to join in the show, and ask Gary any question about a beta. He'll answer it. I guarantee it.
I mean, we got 560 followers on our YouTube, so I mean, it's getting pretty serious.
506. Well, I've seen the YouTube. It's usually Bum Wars. There's the Bum Wars section.
That's our TikTok.
That's TikTok. It was a different one. So for the interesting thing, follow TikTok, and then because it came across one of my feeds that you were doing some suspension service or something, and you said something that was, I don't remember what it was, because it's like it just goes in one eye and out the other when I'm watching that stuff, kind of like this show. But yeah, it was look there was informative stuff going on.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, there's a lot of that too.
Do you remember what you were talking about in the suspension?
Oh, he does a lot of
No?
suspension ones.
No, dude, I hit my head too many times. I don't remember anything.
Yeah, it's like this show. You ever seen the Men in Black movie where they shoot you with the gun and you forget everything?
Yeah.
That's what happens when I walk out of this studio.
That's every day for me.
Okay. Yeah, this is like lucky I only do this once a week. So Gary Drummond, you know Gary Drummond?
I don't think so.
Yeah, he's a beta guy.
I'm more of faces.
Face. I can't remember names or faces. So.
The Beta 200T motor is a true gem for the ST. Plenty of motor for the Momentum ST.
Mountain.
Yeah.
That word says mountain.
Oh, Mountain.
The
What's
mountain single track.
Single track. Gotcha.
Mountain single track.
it is
Okay.
an awesome single track bike.
Yeah, without a doubt.
So one other thing we do on Tech Talk Taco Tuesday was to go back and we look at the emails that come to Jimmy at Dirt Bike Test. And Ron Caron has a question.
Who is Hodo and when will Honda give us the Rally 450L? Thanks, Ron.
Hoto. Well, you're probably not going to see the Hoto, and he's talking about rally bikes and stuff now. You're probably not going to see the Hoto making too many appearances down in Baja, I wouldn't think, or Mexico in general, because that's not necessarily what you would name your motorcycle down there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Victor, my resident Spanish translating guy, I don't see him in the chats these days, but you could probably tell us what a Hodo is in Espanol, but not what you would call your motorcycle. Hodo is a Chinese brand. They had a couple guys at Dakar this year. I don't really nobody of any name value that I know of, but they basically took KTM customer rally bikes and then put their graphics on them and raced it and call it that. I think it's kind of one of those things in China where they are trying to produce something that's like a Kove, or maybe there's some people from Kove that moved and started Hoto. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. It's just another name or something like that until they do something, like what Hero is doing, which is basically hand building factory rally bikes. You know what kind of motors are in those things?
I've never even heard of them.
The Hero
Hero, yeah, they're big.
betas.
Did they use a beta motor?
I think there's a beta motor in that thing now. Yeah, it used to be the old Italian Husky, but like fully hand built and remanufactured. Pretty sure they're running beta motors in there now because they kind of had an all new bike recently. But that's just it may not be true, but it might be true. You never know. And when will Hondas give us a Rally 450L?
that something they make elsewhere or sell
No,
elsewhere?
no, they don't make it. Actually, I saw some other donkey on the internet's claim, some YouTube guy that knows everything. He said that Honda doesn't make a 450 Rally L because they want to sell you a 300, and then they want to sell you the 500 other thing, adventure bike, and then they want to sell you a Transalp, and then they want to sell you Africa Twin. They don't want to sell you the bike you really want. They just want to sell you everything else.
Okay. He sounds sharp.
Yeah.
Honda 300 and
That's why a company like Cove just makes their Cove 450 Rally, and it's everything that everybody else would want. But why isn't Cove selling 10 million of these things? Which is, not 10 million, but Honda needs to sell like 5,000 of these things to make it even worth a year, to make it even worth them considering. They're not a boutique brand. They're not building. They rely on other companies like something like Red Moto. Even Yamaha does this. Yamaha relies on some importers in other countries to build these kind of specific models, and that's just, I don't think it's of that much interest. I think there was plans for Honda to make a 450 Rally. I think they've shown some concepts and stuff like that, but it's one of those things where who knows? I don't know. I'm not in the marketing department. I know people that, not marketing, but R&D. I know people that are, and it's just a numbers game. It's like, can they make money selling it? And they have the 450L. And there's people that make kits for that. And if you really wanted that bike, you could build it. But I don't necessarily. I mean, why doesn't KTM, of all people, sell a Rally 450?
yeah,
Right?
That would be more sensible.
I mean, they're like ready to race. Why don't they sell the Rally bike that they sell in limited numbers every year? Why wouldn't they just?
It's obvious.
Why wouldn't they
There's
just?
enough profit in it. I mean, it's how business works.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I think about that. But what do I know? I'm just a guy that can win a go-kart race at Gene Wood's Racing Experience. You want to come down, Gary?
I do.
You do? Okay. Yeah. Next time you're going to go there, give me a call. Let's see here. What other stuff? Trevor Hunter said this. Trevor, if you don't know, he's at least 2% of dirtbiketest.com. Go check him on the internets. But he really wants you to go to his Trevor Hunter 224 channel on the YouTubes. That's 1-800-DENT-DOC, I think, is his main sponsor. He's really trying to pull all of his content over there to try to not make me as much money because I'm living fat at Dirt Bike Test on all the revenue that we're getting. Trevor said, he says, you want to read this, Jimmy?
Yeah.
Another sip.
These guys found us after my KLX 300 experience at the Hare and Hound. Do you think this is something that we could get money for doing?
He says, "Hi, Trevor. My name is Jay. I'm part of Team Antelope Power, a Southern California-based electric dirt bike project, and I want to see if Dirt Bike Test would have any interest in doing a hands-on evaluation. We like hands-on evaluations."
Yeah.
It says, "This bike is a full-size," remember this stuff? Addictivo whiskey. We're switching over, yeah. This bike is a full-size off-road motorcycle built specifically dirt riding, not a Sur-Ron hybrid. It's currently located in Lake Elsinore at Manny Jabalaba's house. I did a story about freestyle riding at his place. He's got ramps and hits and stuff like that back in the day. I did I did a heel clicker and I did a knack.
Oh.
And those are
Pretty
big.
good for an off-road guy.
Those are big moves back in my day. Yeah, ramps. It's currently, let's see, and where we do our riding testing and setup. A quick overview of the bike. Peak output 25 kilowatts. Continuous output 18 kilowatts. Real world peak power 30 to 32 horsepower. So those kilowatts, those mean anything to you yet? Anybody?
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet. I'm not there. We should get Anthony, our electric bike guru, to step in this stuff. 72 watt, 60 amp hour battery, 200 pound bike weight. That's not bad. 200 pounds because the Can-Am I was riding was 400 pounds. 21 inch front, 18 rear, GFE fully adjustable suspension. What's GFE? Multiple ride modes, adjustable regen braking. I'm including a couple photos for reference. If you'd like to get a feel for what we're doing, here's our social medias. They're looking for honest, real-world feedback and proper testing, not promotional coverage. We're completely open to critical input. Happy to share full specs or coordinate a visit. This is something you'd be into. And what did Trevor say?
Let's get some money off these dudes.
Get some money for doing. Well, yeah, Trevor. I mean, that's the whole reason we have dirt bike tests is to make money. I'm all about.
I like money.
Yeah, money's nice. I like riding dirt bikes more. So I get in this conundrum where I kind of want to ride it just because I'm interested in riding almost anything. But then it's like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to ask for money. I mean, shouldn't everybody that has a YouTube channel get money? I mean, every YouTuber claims they're making lots of money. So, you have a YouTube channel yet, Nolan? No, you should because then you'll make a lot of money. You could just you could award a GoPro today and just videoed me riding and put it up there, and you would have got lots of money.
Clicks.
Yeah, it's full clicks today. My cat's pretty excited for you right there. He's getting super excited. Yeah, Trevor, I don't know what to tell you. Did you reach back out to that guy or get it fixed or however it was? Let's see. Where else? I had some other, let's go back to the emails. Oh, we have a section that we call on this show Roost or Endo, brought to you by Takamoto. Are you familiar with Takamoto?
I am.
Yeah. Takamoto likes your beard. He's stoked on your beard. Roost or Endo.
Okay.
Takomoto.co. So if you have, and this is the way this segment works, you send us a picture of your bike and you tell us a little bit about this. And he said rooster endo. He said roost, comma, endo, and a question, which is proper grammatic thing, whatever.
Yeah, he's a smart one, this guy.
But
We got a beta.
you need to send it to roost or endo, and then save the question for later because I actually sort them out this way, and that's why I didn't find it and I didn't preload it in the show, but I've got it in here. So what does Chris have for us?
Should I read his question or is what he's got on his bike?
Oh, remember at the beginning of the show I told you had to remind me to do something
Yeah, but
because I haven't loaded it into the show yet.
yeah, you gotta get there. Okay,
You guys, geez, okay, I'll get it. Just you. So I'm gonna bring it in here, but I gotta fix something else here. No, hold on a second. I gotta turn that off, and I gotta turn that off, and I gotta turn that off. So if you submit your thing to Rooster Endo and you have a group of homies like this that say they're gonna come and kill me,
Get out of here, cat.
they're gonna come and attack me
she's crazy tonight.
Oh really?
She's digging into legs.
Claws?
Yeah.
If you have a group of homies that say if your bike doesn't win, we're going to come and roll you, Jimmy, the next time you come trail riding with us, don't do that. So, okay, let's talk about. Hold on, I got to move this thing over here. I got to put Chris's bike in here, like that. I got it. Look at this. I'm almost like a professional. I used to hire professionals to do this.
There she is.
It looks good there. It's actually a nice big picture, but you shot it with your damn phone, and I can't. There's nice. Look at the trees in the background, but you can't see the tree. Like, oh, here we go. I'll fix it. Okay, I'm gonna move this out of the way, Jimmy, so you can read.
I'll tell you all about this.
Okay.
Later. It's a 2023 Beta Cross Trainer Montero cone valve fork cartridges from Tasmania, Australia, making some great suspension products. Front tugger strap, Enduro Engineering skid plate, handguards, rear disc guard, bar ends, and spark arrestor. Bulletproof designs, front disc guard and rad guards. WP rear shock from a TE300, internally lowered. Reval. Oh, we already lowered it.
Wait, a TE300. Wait, can you put KTM shocks on betas?
He did it.
Yeah,
I guess.
Wait, don't you run a suspension company? Shouldn't you know this stuff?
Yeah, but
Nobody's trying that move.
I'm not mixing brands or anything.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah.
I'm gonna zoom in and check it out, but keep going there.
He's one of the first guys I've heard get rid of the.
No, this is the cross trainer.
Yeah, it's got the sacks, but
This has the silly goose suspension.
oh, it does. Okay.
Is that GFE?
It's the R16V.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So, yeah.
It is very, very trail rider beginner friendly suspension.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
can't stress that enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's what the bike's built for. So.
Hey, my buddy bought one of these, I saw him today. He put a thumb throttle on it. He's getting older. He has a brake up there, and all that stuff.
Flick or whatever.
And I asked him. He was like, well, I don't know, because we ride a lot of roads and go kind of fast on the, we go on the roads. He goes, I don't know about the suspension. I'm like, you're riding down roads. Don't worry about the suspension. If you need to make it different, you can get bigger springs for it and do what you need to do. It'll be fine. But okay.
I got a couple other things. He's got ASV levers, Fastway foot pegs, Clean Speed brake pedal tip, Moto's LED headlight, Banana Racing pipe guard, IMS fuel tank, Polysport clutch and ignition covers.
That's not bad. Are the IMS tanks? Are they specific to that bike? Do you know?
Yeah, because it's got a
It's
whole different
frame. Yeah. I was going to. Victor says I was watching and commenting on YouTube. There's a huge delay between these two platforms. So Victor, what is
Get your money back.
what? you'll get Victor. You'll get your money back for this show, according to Jimmy Tyler. So
Hi, Victor. Good to see you, buddy.
yeah. Guess what? You want your 2 cents? I know you'll give us a 2 cents.
Victor's
Are you watching
solid.
on YouTube and Facebook at the same time?
Which was faster? Oh, so he's got another stage name on the YouTubes.
Oh, he does. I don't know if
Because I wanted to know about the. Remember, I needed the translation of Hoto.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Moto.
the proper translation on Hoto. So good to see Victor's back. And Gary just said the Beta XT is definitely a roost. Well, Gary, you're just a Beta guy, and I'm going to disqualify your opinion until I get a little bit farther. This is really good.
Fantastic.
This is a really good whiskey, by the
So
way.
good, so good.
Yeah, Addictivo whiskey, by the way. What else was I gonna? So
Mike Roos, I don't see anything silly goose on there. It's-
Moto Aero cone fork valve cartridge. Do you know that?
I do not.
Yeah. So learned something today in the show. I like that. He's looking it up.
There's not a lot of
Stuff for
different stuff for the cross trainer on the forks. Like we make a gold valve kit for the shock, but the forks, there's nothing. Beta used to make a direct cartridge kit. They discontinued that. So anything
'Cause
that
it's
you're
a-
actually riding it at speed, anything is an improvement.
Yeah, it's a putter bike, but not to say that it for what it's doing, I think it's just fine. So, and I was going to tell you a story. We'll get back to your bike, Chris. Don't worry, Chris. If you're in the chat, here he's in the chat. He says that's my X Trainer.
Oh, Chris.
Yeah, so good, Chris. So good to see you in the chat. That always helps out. By the way, if you're actually in the chat. That way we can ask questions about your bike.
Are those stock clamps, Gary, or did you have to put clamps on it?
They look
No,
like
they
stock
look
clamps.
What's that?
So they look like stock clamps.
Yeah, okay.
And he
They didn't mention it, so.
but the funny thing is he did put the. I always say put the year, make, and model. I mean, I know it's a Beta because it's an X Trainer and
No, he
stuff,
did,
but
2023.
people expect me to know other things. Tell us, you're in the chat. Tell us, Chris, about how how that shock thing. Did the shock have to be modified, or was it just a direct drop in? Because that's kind of an interesting thing. So I was going to tell Gary is that up until this weekend I was kind of ready to buy my wife an X Trainer. I thought, she's getting older, likes the she likes riding technical trails, but at a slow technical trail riding pace. I'm like, X Trainer is perfect. It's light. It's got tons of torque, and it's lower.
Mm-hmm.
It's just kind of lower, and the chassis is designed to be lower. And this is a big thing. But we went riding. I put her on her KTM 300. Well, she was riding her KTM 350 4-stroke that we keep in her place. And then I'm like, because the 300 has a recluse clutch, but it's got a bigger tank. It might have been set up a little bit more for me. I put her on that thing. She started ripping. She started riding so good. And I'm like, oh, good. You don't need an X Trainer anymore.
Needs a 390.
390. No, she's
Very smooth bike.
she likes now she likes the ones with the big pipe.
Okay.
She likes the ones with the big pipe.
Yeah.
That means 2-stroke.
I mean, it's too strong.
Yeah. She was a KDX 200 racer. She liked KDX 2. Well, she started on a Husky 250 with a left side kickstart because that's what her dad gave her when she was 14, and all of like maybe 5 feet. And you know how tall those things were?
Yeah.
It was like a 40-inch seat height. So let's see here.
I don't see any pictures on this cone valve stuff, but there's a whole description of it.
Okay. Well, that's good.
If you scroll over, there's a picture.
A Hoto is a pillow biter.
Oh, okay.
So don't call anyone that in Mexico. This is what we're talking about, Victor. We were saying that they probably wouldn't be racing in Mexico anytime soon.
No, not gonna.
Ace Nilsson wants to know, what are we drinking tonight? Well, we're on our third sample, and right now we're on the Addictivo whiskey. Ace, so I'll put it up on the emergency screen here. This is a really nice. It's whiskey aged in tequila barrels, of all things. That's why it made the show. Back to Chris's. Oh, let's see. Gary Drummond says, I was a beta guy, currently a 4T rider only, a Sherco SEF 250 for the single track and a Ducati 968 mono for the slap. Those are nice bikes, the Ducatis. Okay, well, he was a beta guy, but he's there. Okay, so
Maybe get to home.
Chris, we'll answer your question next, but tell us about that shock.
Yeah.
And his question is, he has the X Trainer. He's running the Bridgestone X31 and an IRC VE33 rear. Is waiting to go on. I want to try the Michelin Mousses, but can't find any info on what sizes I always need. Can you help? So typically Michelin doesn't have a fitment chart for other tires other than Michelin's. Am I correct in this?
Premises.
I thought there was a chart at some point.
Yeah, but
let me see if I can find it.
I'll tell you what, Nitro Moose has a very, very detailed fitment chart. If you go to Nitro Moose, is nitromoose.com?
Yes.
The website, nitromoose.com, and there's a fitment chart, and they will have a fitment chart that will for pretty much every tire, and then you'll get it right. But the other thing that you can see there is they have their different sizes, and if you wanted to compare that to a Michelin size, but the Michelin Mousses are sized kind of like tire sizes, so it'll say 140/80 on the Moose, or 110/100 on the Michelin Moose, where the Nitro Mousses are more in the diameter, like 315 or 290 or whatever the sizes are. But I would use the fitment size.
M18 for the Michelin.
M18.
It's on Rocky Mountain's website. If you type in your bib moose, and then you can actually have.
Or you type in your tire size.
It actually has the IRC on there. It
Oh,
shows you
Michelin
exactly
does.
which one
Okay.
for Michelin. So
So-
it says an M18.
So you were able to find it on Rocky Mountain.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you're going to go to Rocky Mountain, hey, please click through our site so we can make more money.
It's the least you can do.
Yeah, just go to dirtbiketest.com. There's a little thing that says support us, which means support me, because I don't want to have to get a real job ever in my entire life. And then you click that, and then money just starts falling out of the sky, like for all YouTubers and Facebookers or whatever we are these days. So
And I'm trying to get there on our YouTube at Sportsman Cycle.
at Sportsman Cycle,
Lots of trial stuff. Lots of us falling down. Really slow guy stuff.
do you ride in this guy's backyard
I have not yet.
There's
I'm letting Logan try to get his feet wet because.
or break his leg
Well, I mean,
on the teeter-totter of death?
Yes. Exactly.
yeah, I'm not worried about that. I'm making podiums while he's sitting in the back,
At trials competitions.
at trials competitions.
Okay. I have a Gas 300 that's like, it's an old one that's in there. I'll trials you up.
Let's go. Next
Yeah.
weekend, we are going to Kingman to have another competition.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh, it's actually a legit trials event.
Yeah, Central Arizona Trials. And
Not-
those guys
not-
have all been super badass.
Not the same weekend as this Hare and Hound this weekend.
Nope, next weekend.
The weekend after that.
Yep.
I might have another commitment.
No, we'll sign you up.
I ride for Woodworks.
Yeah.
Woodworks
You're,
door and frame.
Well, we're all
Frame
going.
and door?
We're going to load up in the van and
Okay. I was super into trials for a long time. I'm not very good at it. Like I said, it's like golf, and you don't have any like razor blades or sharp objects in your van, right?
no, we just go and just like golf, you each person goes, you talk shit to the next person,
Yeah.
and then take pictures of them falling down and stuff. And then
Oh.
you go take your turn, and everybody clowns on you, and then we go to the next one.
Okay. That's the same weekend as what, the Mint? The Mint 400's that weekend?
No.
2 weeks? There's an extra week in there?
Extra week.
There's, yeah, then
I gotta go to Mexico. Go riding. I gotta go do some NORA. Hey, by the way, they announced tonight that not this year, but next year, the 2027 NORA, the one that you're gonna do,
Okay.
10 days.
Oh boy.
It's down and back.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, it's the full pull twice of the Baja Peninsula.
That's
yeah.
cool.
And if you're thinking about doing it, but guess what? If you don't do it this year, there might not be motorcycles next year. Just saying. We need a certain amount of motorcycles to make it worth them having to pay my exorbitant, extortionary fees to set up their course.
Well, I got that 500 ready to build.
Well, you should do it. You should do it this year.
That's for him.
Oh, for him.
Yeah.
Well, you could do it as a team. Actually,
got
you and your brother could do it, and
you
then
go.
and then Gary could do it too. Gary can do it by himself because he's a professional motorcycle racer. When was the last time you got a check from a race?
That's how long I got to think. Searchlight Night races. They do a pit bike race.
Oh,
I race it on the Beta Electric Explorer,
uh-huh.
and I just overall that, take all their money.
Okay. Was that like last year?
Yeah.
Oh.
Last year I made $20.
So
The year
you're
before I made 150.
Okay, so you're still a professional motorcycle racer. Me too, by the way. I'm kind of going past my whole gear. It's been because it was the second round of the Hare and Hound series last year that I got my check, but I'm thinking about maybe this weekend I might have to go back, but it's going to be cold, and I don't like riding when it's uncomfortable. I like my riding to be very comfortable these days. If you want comfortable riding, by the way, you can do the NORA Mexican 1000. And you could, if you want to be uncomfortable, and speaking of Ace Nelson, you can do it Maui Moto. See, look,
Yeah.
right there. He says, get signed up for the NORA 1000. We're going to have a Maui Moto class where you show up with your bike in Ensenada, and we're going to give you a tent and a sleeping bag. And you can do the whole thing. We'll give you a parts box. You can put your stuff in there. You do the whole thing. They'll have the tools and all the stuff you need. They'll make sure there's an impound for your bike. You can sleep next to your bike. Don't have to worry about getting yourself stolen or anything like that. It'll be super safe and super fun. 15-ish, not 1,300 miles of really solid riding. Do that. Sign up soon. And if you sign up before the end of February, you get a free rally training by some guy that knows what he's talking about. He can teach you how to win Dakar, evidently. And you get a free subscription to Rally Navigator, which is the software to make rallies for you and all your buddies so you can practice. Nolan, you doing NORA?
oh no, I gotta see.
You got to see.
Yeah,
You got to talk to the boss.
I gotta see it.
You know what?
I gotta look at dates.
There's a bike in that shop. You should just roll it into the corner and put it all back together. And there's a couple of them actually.
Couple of 'em.
Yeah, well, you want the Preston version.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably better for down there.
That's a Ricky one.
Franco said he sent me a question a few months ago.
Victor. Hey Jimmy, I sent you a message a few months ago inviting you to come riding down to mainland Mexico.
I don't Francois. It sounds French.
Yeah, Francois Derot.
It's probably when a French guy invites you to go ride in Mexico, you just think it's a scam. It's just another one of those emails. Maybe you did. Send it to Jimmy at Jimmy Lewis. No, send it to Jimmy at Dirt Bike Test, and I'll check in. I'll check in there. Oh, we got to get back to the Roosterendo.
Victor is wondering if you get the blow up doll in the Maui Moto package.
Ace, can you handle that question? Because that's
question.
like your thing. I mean, I'm not. When you go into the Moto pits, I'm not looking anymore. Okay, Victor.
What happens is the Maui Moto stays in the Maui.
Yeah, that's it's kind of like that. Back to Roosterendo. This beta
It roosts.
it roost. Why? Just because it's a beta and the guy that owns the beta shop in
look
Vegas
at it.
sitting next to you?
No, actually, he's done a lot to it.
To in all honesty, to get the suspension kind of up to par, it's a pretty cool thing. I'm trying to make it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to shrink it back down here. There's the guys that are going to beat me up if I don't pick their bike. The photo's the wrong size, completely the wrong size.
Yeah.
I think it's good. He didn't answer my question about the shock though.
He ghosted us.
Yeah, he kept telling us it's his own X-Trainer, but he's watching on YouTube, and evidently there's a big delay.
Yeah.
Although we've dropped 0 frames according to this thing. Victor, for you, I'll tell you what. If you come and do Nora, I'll get you a blow-up doll. I know a couple places. Actually, I have a couple of used ones that are laying around. Okay, Chris. Chris, your bike roosts. Gary Drummond thinks your bike's roost, and Gary Smith. What do you say?
Definitely.
Bruce.
It roosts?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Got some stiff competition right now.
Yeah, it does because some other guy sent me, hold on a second, let me go to that email. It says, hold on, let me call it up. It says, here we go. This is submitted for Tech Talk Taco Tuesday's Rooster Endo. It's a 2016 Mercedes Sprinter van. It's moto/sleeper ready, and it's always rockin', never knockin'.
Okay.
Knockin'. From one Ricky Brabeck. Heard of that guy?
Big hairy American winning machine.
I should probably call him, find out to get more details. Say we need some more details on this.
I need one. I mean, I ain't got no money, but
Well, Ricky probably sell it to you cheap, I think. Let's see what we got here. There's the back. There's a gang of guys that are standing next to the back of his Sprinter van ready to roll you if you don't buy it. But I've seen this thing. It's been out here. Hold on a second. Let me see this. No way he's picking up, but I'm going to try it anyways. Hold on. Please hold. Actually, pour a little bit more of that there. Gary, do another plug for your ride day. Or not ride day, demo ride.
demo ride. DynamicDirt.com. Get signed up. We're doing our beta 2026 demo ride.
Saturday, what time?
Saturday at 10 a.m.
10 a.m.
We're going to bring out some Porta subs out there, feed everybody, get all your questions answered.
Are we going to be at a National Hare and Hound?
Yeah, you will.
Do you think so, Jimmy?
I don't know. It doesn't sound fun to me that far.
Let's see. I'm ringing up a phone. This is no way old Rick Dog's answering right now. It's kind of past his bedtime. Oh yeah, it is a little bit late. He's not going to be able to defend himself.
You reached Ricky Brabeck?
No, I haven't. It's bullshit.
I'm out
Did not.
running errands, training, or either riding my motorcycle, enjoying life.
No, you're sleeping, you donkey. I'm trying to sell your van for you, and you won't even pick up the phone. You had the opportunity to be on the Tech Talk Taco Tuesday show with 30 million viewers right now, and you thought I was going to call you to interview you, but I know you're not doing any press or media right now. But you do you and your Sprinter van endos. Okay, talk to you later. See ya. That was not Ricky Brabeck. Not on Tech Talk Taco Tuesday and not tonight. So if you want to buy this Sprinter van, go to rickybrabeck.com. I don't know where you go.
They can throw in some
Actually,
and stuff in there.
I'm going to tell him I had a buyer. I'm going to say I had something that I was ready to buy, and you didn't answer the phone. And the guy bought another Sprinter van because Gary was ready to buy.
Yeah,
I was gonna.
You talked me out of it.
I know. I was gonna negotiate the deal for you right now. So this thing endos. It's for sale.
Throw in a jacket from Dakar.
Well, that's what I wanted to know. Does that jacket come with the van? Because that
would sweeten the deal.
it would definitely.
It'd make it better than all the other Sprinter vans that are exactly like that.
Yeah. So if you want a Sprinter van, you can email jimmy@dirtbiketest.com. I only take 15%. Better than most agents. Good ones, at least.
So our buddy Max Schweitzer has a Sprinter van, and when I told him that I qualified for ISDE, he's like, "Oh, you got to come look in my van." And he had his 1965 ISDT jacket still in his van.
No way.
And I was like,
You
"What are
know
you doing
Max
with that?"
Schweitzer?
He goes, "I wear it everywhere. It's the most comfortable jacket ever." I'm like, "Dude, I want that jacket to hang up."
Is it like one of those old waxed?
Like the leather, yeah.
Yeah. It's like the waxed because I had a jacket that was that what's it called? Duck. You know, it's like Carhartt pants kind of material, but they wax it to make it waterproof because there was no such thing as Gore-Tex back then.
Obviously,
Do
last.
you know him?
Very little, yeah,
Right,
yeah.
You know, he's
Yeah,
like,
a
he's like
legend.
you're probably going to be. Like out there, 82, riding 4 times a day.
He's
a
86
week.
now.
86.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he's a rad dude.
Victor wants to know to Francois, where in Mexico do you ride? So these are the things. No cagers for the roost, bro. Boo.
Victor's so good, man.
And Victor here, he says, what did he say?
Oh, Jimmy, you should take Francois, whatever, offer. He's near Zimpan. Great canyon to ride in, epic riding.
Okay.
All right.
And he says, no scam, man. About 30 years ago during the New Year's ride, you poured fire lighter fluid on your foot and I set it on fire.
Oh, this guy got you on.
Huh? It's funny because the name sounds really familiar, but I'm so bad at remembering this kind of thing. 30 years ago during the New Year's ride. So the New Year's ride, you poured fire lighter fluid. Oh, so yeah, lighter fluid on your foot, and I set it on fire. And so we used to do a New Year's trail ride. So I had some off week, and my off weekends were like New Year's and Thanksgiving kind of. Those are the times I'd have an off weekend, and we go do trail rides, and it got out of hand because I had friends that used to they were. Our club was Ventura County Motorcycle Club. At the desert races, we were known for partying like crazy. Wasn't me at all. It was my buddies. But I just like to hang around because these guys would show up. They're the Dillon Bros. These guys would show up and they would bring 5 gallons of gas for the bike and 5 gallons of burning gas. And then party would go on and there's stuff would happen. In the morning, they always come over and they go, hey, Jimmy, we need some gas for the race. Like, well, what happened? Burn it all.
Sounds like a bunch of TJs.
Does TJ like lighting stuff on fire?
He's TJ.
He's TJ. Side panels. Okay. Buddy says, good evening, gentlemen. Good evening, you, buddy. You remember I'm a member of VCMC, a great club. So we were the number 1 enduro club in District 37 for a long, long time. Good time. So let's see what else we have in the questions here. Wasn't there 1 or 2 others that I was going to bring up?
Bernardo.
Oh yeah, I forgot to bring this one up here too. We'll see how this thing works. This goes out to Trevor Hunter, a friend of mine who raced a KLX 300 in a National Hare and Hound, and didn't even make the top 20. just got stuck behind guys, and so I dug around in the archives. In fact, Jerry Bernardo dug around in the archives for me and sent this video clip that I'm going to show you right now.
Stream. Once the raft had reached the landing point, the race was still not over. Still one more part to this affair, pulling the bikes to shore, starting them once they've been laying down for an hour and have taken on water, then riding up a monster hill. Even the cool under pressure Jimmy Lewis had some quality time with his Kickstarter. The Pires Bombana team from Argentina and the De Gavardo Lavalle team from Chile had much better luck getting up quicker. But that was only half of the equation. Both the bikes and the riders had to cross the finish line atop a high hill.
Wearing a light
Fred
shot.
Bramlett, sorely
Whoa.
out of breath and beginning to feel the effects of the altitude,
It was
decided
a
discretion was
kind of
better
a
than
Franco
valor,
Iturbi's
gave way to
rally,
teammate
so it was a
Kevin
little bit
Hines,
different.
who was eager to ride the
You had to wear your helmet when
260-pound
you rode.
XR 600 up the vertical. Hines had just mastered the mini hill climb on his CRE 250 a minute earlier. Up he goes, flawlessly.
Make sure for no, I'm fine.
Okay, so that is a clip of. So just to put it like I'll scroll forward to see if I can find the point where maybe we won the overall of the rally. Wait, here's a picture of me doing something. I don't know what the hell. I'll put it on here.
I'm near you. Great stuff.
Gotta go
For the
watch
fifth
video.
time
Hold on
in
a second.
6 tests, Lewis and Nicoli come home first, this time 7.5 minutes ahead of the field. But just finishing on a day like this is cause
Look
for
at that
celebration.
Biaffi helmet. How's that?
That was absolutely miserable. It was kind of neat. The first time we rode right through it, it was no problem. But when we got up the second time, we got to the first thing, and half the people were
How
still
do you like
there.
the flavor
So
saver?
we rode, Arnaldo and I kind of
Makes your beard look kind of large.
Over, and
I was
we
probably
passed
trying to
maybe
grow
3 or
one.
4, got to the next section, did the same thing. And we got out on our third lap, and when we got to the second obstacle, they just shut it down. They said, forget it. There were bikes in the river. There were kids floating downstream. It was getting kind of ugly.
So we'll call it a day. Other than the top
So
2
you
teams,
won it.
everyone ties for third with
Yeah.
times of 4 hours even.
So it's a team?
Yeah, it was a team event. I was riding with a guy on a Husky 350. Didn't speak a lick of English. Arnaldo Nicoli, who and I didn't speak any Italian either. So basically,
Bernardo, was that our guy?
yeah, Jerry Bernardo.
Oh, really?
He rode with here I go with names again. Smith. Not Drew Smith. Drew's younger brother. Anyways, so yeah, we won. But anyway, so if you are a good rider, you actually win events on a KLX 300. You don't just like ride around in the back. Even though my video is just me kick-starting it, but I had so much time. We were so far ahead, like in the last video, that I could just hang around and kickstart it. Where Trevor was stuck behind old men that were riding with their feet on the ground. Don't really know what was going on there.
He's burning up the horn on that race.
Yeah. We did some road racing in this event too. A little bit of,
This one courtesy of Hayo. On to the quarterfinals,
Aaron Yates
where
was out
Hayo
there
meets Chris Smith,
racing.
he of off-road fame, who actually handles his machine very well on the pavement.
Chris Smith.
Is capable
That's
of
who it
pulling
is.
off anything that comes his way, but here he gets in maybe a little over his head and makes a great save from a motorcycle that definitely wants to high-side him left, right, and center. Smith, a part of the number 2 team with Jerry Bernardo, looking to move up in the absence of our points leaders. Boy, his day almost ended in the biggest possible way. Now here's great
funny, I don't remember the
quarterfinal
road
action
race
between
at all.
rival Yanks. Mark McDaniel and Kevin Hines side by side at the start, but McDaniel so grateful to see payment, he just launches. Hines can't keep up, and that's the end of that one. Best race of the day.
Yeah, there was a
Superbiker
lot of
Aaron
different-
Yates in the semis against the underdog Hayo. Hayo leaves Yates, but that's just the beginning of this matchup.
I don't know why we're watching
Watch
road
this
racing on
unfold.
Tech Talk Taco Tuesday, but this was with Nobby,
Yates
so
up
it's
the
all
inside
good.
As Hayo overcooks the corner, scrabbling for grip on those Nobby tires. Hayo comes back, shuts the door on the Superbike race winner, then loses a little traction of his own. Yates gets him on acceleration. Hayo pulls away again. Big left-hander coming up. Will Yates go to the inside? No, he goes to the outside. Hayo almost throws it away. Yates goes on to the finals. Now, in that final, the 2 EBSCO Suzuki teammates, Yates and McDaniel, hook up. They've already wrapped up the team title. This is for bragging rights. McDaniel leads, but he gets a little wide. Down the inside comes Yates to take the lead, and he will hold it for the
This is
remainder
back
of
from
this
Motor World
7-lap
days
final.
of all
So, with the
things.
championship tightening up, Yates and McDaniel come.
Let me see if we can scroll through here and. Oh, it was beach. There was a
Town of
beach race, I
Tumbes.
think, too.
Where in America can you find a beach just primed for racing? Nowhere. Here in South America, we have a beautiful windy day, about 75 degrees. Climax of the Incas Rally. 2 heat races. First sends
KLX
half the field
300
into
is
water,
awesome
where Mark
on
Dufresne
racing
gets
down the beach.
waterlogged and
You know.
stalls out. This course is perhaps the most challenging of the event, mainly because it's so silty. You never know if you're on solid ground or what you're going to find on the other side of the mountains facing away from the beach. Case in point, Aaron Yates taking a big digger right there. No one is more surprised than Aaron. Talk about steep. Nelson Perez says, no thanks. And there's why. Chris Smith is on the beach and on the gas, just flying through Heat 1. He wins it easily and takes the next 6 riders with him into the main.
I forgot most of it.
The start of Heat number 2 offers much less water play than the first
I don't
full shot.
remember. It's
Time
good I can
Kevin
watch
Hines
this in
totally
videos.
wicks it up. Since Fred Bramlett can only watch from the medical triage area, Hines said, you know, Fred, I've had my eye on that 600 all the time. I want to ride it at the final event. More
So
power to
national
him.
enduro champion.
Less
Kevin
power
Hines.
to Mark McDaniel, who may hurt himself in this silly stuff. Daniel is out of the main event and essentially takes himself and Aaron Yates out of contention. Out on the beach, Hines is
The
flying.
beach was awesome, but you
Again,
go
he
on the
and
hills
six
and
others
it was
advance.
like poof dirt.
In the main, we're playing by Australian rules. 14 riders, 13 laps. If you're the last rider on any given lap, you're black flagged out. Down goes Aaron Yates, lucky not to get run over. Maybe banged up that left knee. In the team column, it's a battle between Bernardo Smith and Louis Nicoli. Smith has taken an overwhelming lead. His teammate Jerry Bernardo also riding well, but check out the dust on the backside. Now let's check on Nicoli. Riding well, carrying that big, heavy Husqvarna.
It's
Right
not
turn
big and
coming up,
heavy.
he
It's like probably
stalls.
20 pounds lighter than
Aldo
my
was losing oil in the first moto.
KLX.
Can he get it started again? He looks across the sandy vista, and here comes Kevin Hines. They're running 2 and 3 behind Smith. Can Hines catch the Italian and take over second
I had to
place?
only ride
No.
my
Nicoli
bike
is up
half throttle
and
down the
gone.
beach because it was so fast.
Further back, there's Jerry Bernardo, who has Aaron Yates now hot on his trail. Bernardo doing well riding against the pros. Man, that sand is deep and thick. And look at the surface. Looks like you're racing somewhere on the moon.
Victor's liking the sound of the
Now on the
XR600.
downside of the ridge.
Back then, it
Yates
wasn't
had
a bad
passed
bike.
Bernardo and pulled into the pits. While Jerry riding slowly and carefully, which is nothing like his personality, of course. Heads past the pit area. No need for Jerry B to stop. He moves back into 6th place, and the crowd is loving it. On the beach, Arnaldo Nicoli giving everybody sort of half a knack-knack. Call it a nick-nick. And then out comes the black flag. Last man in the field each time around has to pull it off.
Now, Australian Pursuit's pretty awesome
And we
racing
narrow
format.
the field of contenders. Jerry Bernardo, with a wave to the crowd, says, "I am done. That black flag is mine." Can Chris Smith hang on to win? Stand by.
Moto World is being brought to you in part by the
nice.
Motorcycle Mechanics Institute.
That's super cool.
Look at that commercial.
So Jerry sent me, yeah, Jerry basically sent me this the other day. He's like, hey, check this out. So I thought I'd throw that in there just to rub it in Trevor's nose that you can overall international rallies on a KLX 300 if you put some work into it. What I like to say. Okay, so what else?
Isn't it the exact same bike though?
The KLX 300?
Yeah.
No, I think mine was a dirt one. It didn't have all the turn signals and stuff, so it probably had a little bit more power. Mine didn't have a horn.
Trevor's did.
Yeah, Trevor's had a horn.
I liked it.
So, okay, the one last thing we got to do is we got to answer our YouTube questions. By the way, Chris with the beta, you won Roosterendo, right? We sure? Because it was the only motorcycle in the contest. Send me an email if you're still watching so I can remember to send it over to Taco Mike so they can get you taken care of. If there's a little bit of delay in him getting you taken care of, that's because they're busy. And sometimes, like, my emails probably go to junk folder. But anyways, you will win a $100 gift certificate from tacomoto.co. And see, Phil Track 1870s talking about Trevor's bike.
I would love to see you do this on a KLX 300R version.
He'd probably overall the race.
Probably.
Like I would have, if I would have rode a KLX 300R.
Yeah.
Shemp's World says,
It's a great horn.
Yeah.
He's not wrong.
let's see. I'm trying to see if there's any questions in here. People are like commenting a lot. Lee Ramett says that was fun to watch. Good to see the Prairie Dogs are still growing strong. Well, not if Trevor's a member. I mean, that means they'll take anybody. What does Mike M
Yeah, he's got something
say?
to say. I am so tired of the low seat height thing. Throw away the travel, performance, and ground clearance to drop the seat. Yay, you can flat foot on an off-road bike, but you'll bust your spine if you hit a cigarette butt on the trail. Huh?
So he's talking about our KLX 230 Sherpa S riding impression. There's plenty of tall bikes, including the KDX 230. Not everyone has a 36-inch inseam, bro. And then Scott Dickinson says,
Show us on the dollar where the Sherpa touched you. Getting feisty in the comments.
Those are the comments. That's what you get with YouTube.
Yeah.
Here's my take on low seat height bikes. And Gary, you run a motorcycle dealership, but you're a beta dealership, so you probably don't have a whole lot of. You're more of a specialized customer, you'd say, correct?
Yeah.
But do you get just off the street people that come in and say, I want on a dirt bike, and then they want to know where the 1200cc one is?
Not usually around.
Not usually. Okay, so you're a little bit more normal. People are so fascinated. There's these showroom features, and I call it showroom bounce. And for a novice or beginner rider, putting your feet on the ground is probably one of the most important things, because they climb onto the motorcycle, usually with the kickstand down. And then with the kickstand down, they try to put both feet down, and it doesn't work because the bike's crooked. But they're still trying to reach the foot down on the other side. They don't even know how to ride yet, and they're worried about something that is probably, once you're riding, the least important thing you need to be concerned with, which is seat height. And I'll tell you why. I don't know how I know this. I might have used to run a motorcycle riding school. How much do you ride with your feet on the ground?
Depends what class you race.
Yeah, proving my Trevor's video. But those guys really don't want their feet to touch the ground, because if they do touch the ground, I don't know why their feet are dangling. I know why their feet are dangling, because they're afraid they're going to fall over and they don't know which side they're going to land on.
Yeah,
okay? Because they're just so unaware of something as simple as balance, which you should kind of be aware of all the time. But it's a whole nother story. You're riding with your feet on the foot pegs. You should be most of the time. And it's really easy if you learn this one technique. By the way, go to jimmylewisoffroad.com. There's an online rider school that will teach you everything I'm talking about, and it's the stepping stone to being a better rider in the future. Even if you think you're a good rider, I'll bet you Nolan over here, who can run top 10 at National Hare and Hounds, could watch the beginner rider course that I have and learn something. He says for sure. And I gave him a little lecture today. We talked about some riding techniques.
Did you?
The couple little things, but I kind of skip it with these guys, and because I have to build some trust in them before they'll actually listen to me. Because like, what does an old guy like you know? You remember when we were his age and like guys our age would tell stuff, and what did you do?
Let's get you to bed, Grandpa.
It's free. I just want to hear myself talk. Well, I do, but that's only on this podcast. Okay. So you don't need to be putting your feet on the ground, but you don't know this when you're a beginner rider, because you just don't know what you don't know. So seat height is kind of a not important thing, but I don't think that they're compromising some stuff in the bikes. But at that point, you don't even know whether you want your feet on the ground or on the foot pegs. You don't even care about that kind of stuff. So it's a moot point.
So if you're looking for a beginner bike that you can put your feet down, Beta is now offering the Cross Trainer in a low boy. So factory comes lowered.
I heard that. Yeah, and they also have what do they call, an Alp or something like that now?
Yeah. So we got a couple Alps at the shop. They're like,
it's like a dual sporty or urban bike, or
yeah, I'd say it's like a mini adventure bike.
Mini adventure bike.
Yeah, half the size of a Tenere motor wise and like size wise.
Funny you bring that up. Yamaha, big sponsor of the show, they make the Tenere that you refer to, the pinnacle of adventure bikes, designed for a real adventure rider.
If you want half the adventure, the Beta Alp.
Perfect.
Half the price. Half the engine, half the size,
half of everything. But hey,
twice the fun.
You there's got to be some place to start. Let's see. I'm trying to look at some of these other things. They want to know which race Trevor did. That was was it the Desert MC National Hare and Hound?
Yeah.
Is that what he rode?
Yeah. Your boy Chris hit you up about the WP shock on the Cross Trainer.
Oh, okay, good. He's getting back to me. Thanks. I will follow up. I will use the $100 for a moose. Okay. I'm sure if you call Takamoto, they will help you get dialed in. And he says, what does he say, Jimmy?
For the WP shock swap, you need to lower the shock 20 millimeters, run a 240 mil length spring, and just trim a little off the upper frame shock mount.
There we go.
Doesn't sound too big of a deal. I mean,
just take a grinder to the frame.
Yeah.
Grinder to the frame. I'm not worried about that. It's probably very little, but now you know how to set it up, Gary. When you go in there, you know that if somebody comes in, because now they heard this on the show, of the 37 million people that are watching this right now, there's got to be 2 owners of Beta cross trainers that want to upgrade them.
Chris, what year did you run, if I can ask?
Shock?
Shock, yeah.
I guarantee you that the KTM shocks are probably, you know what, they have been changing them a lot lately.
Change the upper eyelets. So if it's not the newest generation one, then
It's probably an older one, I would guess, because you probably got it. It wouldn't be brand new. It'd probably be a couple years old.
I'm building a cross trainer right now. I'll grab one of the WP shocks and now
Is it
play
going to
with
be? Is it be something that we can test for dirt bike test?
No, it's customer stuff.
Customer stuff?
Yeah.
Factory customer stuff. Well, if you need his contact, I can get it over to you. Somebody says that somebody else on the YouTubes is the best Yamaha ambassador, and they apologized to me for saying that on my podcast. Okay, can you go on the click thing and ban this person right now? Just ban them. Anybody with boobs is better than me. Okay, just gonna say that right now. If I had boobs, you know how many millions of people would be following? Because I'd show everything.
I feel like I would too.
Yeah, if you had them, you'd use them. I sure as heck would. Let's see. We're looking at. Oh, I did a video. I said, "What should you carry in your backpack or bike packing supplies?" with myself, and Mike Wildman asks,
Can you explain a little bit more about the capacitor? Oh, what size is it? Part number? I think it's a great idea. I want to make one. Thanks, Jimmy. Also, how does it work? I assume the bike will only run off the stator. Well,
okay.
he assumes the bike will run off the stator.
So I carry all the time, because it's just something I carry in my backpack. I have a capacitor, and I don't know the size and the thing because I got it from somebody that was building these things I got it like off ADV Rider, because when the KTM's batteries break, which happens every once in a while, if you don't have another battery or something, the bike just won't work. But if you put a capacitor in there, it will. So if you bump start it or you can jump start it, it'll run. And so I have this capacitor. It's not that big. I showed it in this video that I did, and I carry it with me. It weighs nothing, but it allows the bike to run. You can back in the old days when they had kickstarters, you could kickstart them, but now you can jump start it and then hook this capacitor and it runs. So go to ADV Rider and probably search KTM capacitor.
I think Mike
Takamoto makes them too.
has
Oh, Takamoto.
Yeah, we were putting them on when I built Axel Pearson's ISD e-bike. We put one on there for that reason, just in case.
Just in case.
On a Yamaha.
So this is a good question. So you had it in the system the whole time, correct?
Yeah.
It was always in there. Would a capacitor help my Yamaha start better? Like add a little.
I haven't done enough testing with that to see, because
that's
kind of how the old ones used to be, like the first fuel injection before they had the batteries on them.
Yep.
When you kickstart it, you had to charge the capacitor for it,
right,
with a couple kicks and then discharge it. But was more just to give you enough voltage on your battery or your fuel pump to get it to actually fire if you needed a bump start.
Right, and I'm kind of because if there is a downside to Yamaha fuel injected 4-strokes is the starting. They just do not fire right back up. It's not a Honda, it's not a KTM, and this is something I've complained about. And you notice this. You notice my bike does not like to start. It really likes to be in neutral, and I've heard of guys running different batteries to kind of spin it a little faster, and I just wondered if a capacitor on there would kind of help give it that little extra bump.
I mean, KTM still have a capacitor on them with the battery, so maybe that's the reason why. And we unlocked it right here.
A capacitor? Where is that in? It's on the new ones, or?
Like, yeah, I'd have to show you on the bike.
It's in line. It's in there someplace.
Yeah, like I know on a 16, it's above the throttle body.
Huh. Well, I'm not aware of this. So it could be interesting. So, anyways, I don't. Well, you learn something new every time. Hold on a second. I have a sound for this.
When you carry in your pack, you can hardwire it in too, right?
Okay. I wish I could make that louder. The more you know. Yeah, I've seen guys wire them into the battery. I carry it just separate, and then
Because you're jumping on a different bike every day.
yeah, I want to have it in my backpack in case I need it.
Your friends need it too.
So yeah, the capacitor just allows the bike to it keeps enough power stored up so that there's no lags in it, so it will keep running. Because if it has any drops in voltage, it shuts the fuel pump off, and sometimes it shuts the ignition off, and does a lot of weird stuff. It needs a certain amount of power, so that's how that works. I didn't know. Let's see. Here we go. What does Nick Van Neck say about the Tech Talk Taco
I think
268?
it says a lot about your journalistic integrity that you couldn't come up with the word speculation. LOL.
This is during this show, so I don't remember.
So number 8 right there. They call it a condenser.
Well, condenser. So I wonder. Well, do we have any electronics geniuses?
I know if you unplug it, it still holds 12 volts, just like the
condenser does. Because on my old XR80s, we had a condenser that hooked up to the coil, and it was in line, and those used to go bad. In fact, I just helped a friend. I just rebuilt a QA50, a Honda QA50, and we think the capacitor was bad on it, so I added another one, but it was exactly what you see, that little capacitor thing. But I didn't know they were in KTM. And that's in bikes with batteries, so it has it additionally. Huh?
I know there was an issue in 16 of the wires were breaking on them, and we were throwing the 15 ones on them because they were smaller, but they would still work.
Huh? Yeah. I don't know about my journalistic integrity, and my vocabulary is increasingly getting smaller. Let's see. A Dune. Hold on a second. Trevor put a video up of the Ultimate 300 two-stroke, and he said it was a gas, and I pretty much want to fight with him about this.
Oh, really?
You probably do too, right, Gary?
I'm not worried about it.
You're not worried?
No.
Shouldn't he have said beta?
Well, we're not going bankrupt, so I don't know
Oh.
if ultimate is the right word for those ones.
Right. Maybe there's ultimate bargains on those things. I don't know.
There's an ultimate back order list on all parts right now. So
if Yamaha made a 300 two-stroke, it would definitely be the ultimate 300 two-stroke. And I mean, a lot of people really want that bike, but they think their 250 is good enough. So go to your Yamaha dealer, tell them Dirt Bike Test said they're not making a 300 anytime soon, so you'll just take the 250 and kickstart it and smile because it still has a carburetor. You don't have to worry about any of this technical stuff. No capacitors on the YZ250 two-stroke.
Or the betas.
Or the betas, for that matter. Okay, what is it's Lee Logan or something like that?
Oh, yeah. I'm looking to move to a 2T. I ride an Enduro and an XC. I'm one of the slowest guys I ride with. Not that it's still not in me, but I'm older now and just inherently go ride safer. Multiple people depend on me these days. I have no one in my group that rides 2T, so I can't ride one first. But I'm coming from a 250F. I'm torn between the Beta 200 X Pro.
Hold on a second. Gary, any input before you go any farther?
200. If he's coming off a 250F,
yeah,
definitely go to 200.
Okay.
Yeah. Kind of better in every way for what I can tell, the way I ride. I'm torn between the 200 X Pro, a 250, or a 300 EC gas.
He meant to say Yamaha YZ250 there, by the way.
I was going to say, he just said 250.
Got it.
But I think the 200 would be lighter and more fun for what I want, but I'm worried rider triangle might be cramped. I'm a tad big at 6'2" and mostly legs and arms. What would you recommend in my first 2T for lazy enduro and XC trail riding?
My cat wants to show your butt right now because that means she loves you. So I'll start with this. On a Beta, the Beta is basically all the frames are kind of the same on the full size bikes. Frame size triangle, rider triangle. Like 200 is not smaller than a 250.
The 125 and the 200 share the same frame.
Same frame.
So it's a little bit different there, but
it's not smaller like rider triangle.
No, not like the cross trainer.
Foot peg. Yeah. It's a full size bike. Of all of the bikes out today, I would wager to bet that the Beta is the most roomy chassis out there.
Yeah.
You want to agree, Jimmy?
I think that's why I like it, but it's
Yeah.
kind of tall, 6 foot.
Gary?
I feel like the Austrian bikes are a little bit shorter.
Yeah.
Like,
They tighten up a few. They tightened up a few years
With-
ago. They
yeah.
used to be the bigger ones, and they tightened it up. Well, I want to say a few years ago. Now I'm thinking like 2010 or 11 or something like that.
a few years ago.
Yeah, it has been a while. So, I think.
I don't think that's going to be a different one.
I don't think between any size beta they're all going to kind of be the same rider triangle when you're talking about that. And then the Austrian ones, it kind of depends, because some people, it's funny, some people think Yamahas are really roomy and other people think Yamahas are really cramped. Hondas tend to be like I would call it the standard. Like the Honda is so almost generic in the middle of everything. And then all the other brands are just a little bit here, a little bit there, different. But at 6'2", I don't think any of them would be prohibitive, but I think the Beta is probably the most adaptable at that point. And then, it kind of depends on, these bikes. A lot of them have adjustable top clamps where you can move the handlebars forward and do different things. And that makes a huge difference for riders. There's a lot of different foot peg options. Even the Kawasaki, which is weird, it allows you to move your foot pegs down, but when they go down, they go forward, which is kind of awkward. It should go down and back, but that's just the way it is. I don't know why you can't be the first guy to ride a two-stroke in your group, but you just have carry a different spark plug. I don't know. What does Dune Dirt say?
I'm 52 and in the same boat as you are as far as being a safe rider. I went through several bikes and finally ended up with a 2025 Husky TE300. It's absolutely remarkable. You don't need to modify. Any modifications in the bike is perfect. You can put the white map and have plenty of torque for climbing up anything. The green map is for faster trails. The best thing about the bike is the power delivery. I never felt safer on a bike when I ride this one. This might be exactly what you're looking for.
Throttle goes both ways. I don't care what bike you're on. Throttle goes both ways.
That's a good point. He appreciates your input. Everyone is telling me that, but I grew up in the 80s and 90s and remember the two-strokes hitting the pipe. When I see a 300, I worry, but I know the bikes are very different now.
Yeah. So they're having their own little discussion, talking about all the different bikes.
There can be a time. I mean, the 300s.
Oh, here's a good question. What does Bryce Moroso say about what Trevor said about the ultimate 300 two-stroke?
Wait, so he didn't like that it had too much torque, but got the head to add torque.
Kat, get your butt off the damn microphone. You're wrecking the sound quality of this show.
What's up with you tonight, Kat?
Yeah, it's time you're gonna have to just throw her. I'll do it if you don't want to. Yeah, so I got to talk to Trevor about he does a lot of repeating himself, kind of like I do on the show when I talk about myself. But the head, so he talked to somebody else, and somebody else does exactly the opposite of what I like to do. I like to say, hey, I have this problem. Can you fix it? And then they go, yeah, but you got to do this, and this, and there's like it's not addressing one single problem at a time. It's just, here, take this kit. At that point, you just take the whole kit and you ride it and talk about it. And I think he got kind of in a circle. I didn't agree with the way he described what the bike was doing as a stock bike, like what he was complaining, like when he's talking about having too much torque and hit. It at that point, it's like I would say just go in and tune the power valve, but then it's electronic power valve and it's not that easy to tune anymore. It's not like the old days where you could just kind of do a little thing here. So, but then LLC 9769 says,
nice report, Trev.
Well, that's probably his best friend that he paid him to put that up there.
His mom.
His mom? Oh, it could be. What does Matt Seibler say?
Good stuff. Thanks, Jimmy. I value your insight and have followed your advice for quite some time now.
And you're still alive. That's good. So it's pretty funny because I did this video because I was talking to my friend from Hawaii that's going to do NORA, and he's buying a bike for me. And basically, it's going to be an arrive and ride. He's buying the bike. I'm giving him a bike, and he's like, "Hey, what do I carry?" And I'm like, "Just carry everything I carry." And he's like, well, what's that? I'm like, oh yeah, okay. So I went and did a tour through my backpack, and he's a lifeguard and knows all this stuff. And so one of the things I pull out of one of the first things I pull out of the back of my backpack is a tourniquet. It's a emergency tourniquet, and it's set up and it's kind of ready to go. And this is from talking to Captain Larry, who I've had on this show before, just as a safety. He's like the stuff you can really do. It's important to stop bleeding. That's important. So you just have a couple things for this. So I've taken it seriously and I carry it. So I pull this tourniquet. I'm doing this thing, pull the tourniquet out. My buddy Mike sends me a video of like tourniquet in action. They had a moose tire come off the rim in Hawaii because they ride super gushy mooses and they come off all the time. Tourniquet on the rim holding the tire on.
There you go.
There you go. There's
better than wrapped up in blood.
I'll have to watch it because when I did Idaho City last year, I got to one of the checkpoints and developed a hole in my bag, and I lost every single thing that was inside my bag.
I have too much stuff, so much that I try not to ride with it now, if I can. Let's see. A guy said he subscribed to our video because of Trevor's video on the KLX 300. And Trevor sold him on the KLX 300. That's not good, Trevor, because Yamaha sponsors this show, and you're supposed to sell only Yamahas right now.
Get paid for electric bikes now, right?
Yeah. Electric bikes?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He's going to switch. He'll just switch. Right. MX Engineer says,
great video with excellent details about the performance changes for each mod. Austrian, sorry. 300 TBI engines are so good. The partial throttle lineal torque response makes the big power very easy to ride. See if Jimmy remembers his test on the 09 250XC. The perfect bike that he could vet, moto, or trail ride. Maybe this Gas 300 is the modern day version. I call it the off-road bandwidth, and the 300 TBI engine has it.
I'll tell you right now, I did ride this bike. I rode the bike that Trevor built, the ultimate bike, and I went down one downhill at Glen Helen, and I came back and I said, are you kidding me about the brakes? So it's not the ultimate bike. I didn't watch the entire video. The BrakeTech brakes were just like, I'm big on brakes, and that was a no-go for me. And I do remember the 2009 KTM XC that I rode, and the XC is set up a little more kind of moto-y than this one. They did some suspension work on it, and it was a direction that kind of went away from what I liked. It was kind of set up for some of the other vet guys that like a characteristic that I don't like. And like I said, it's a personal characteristic. They did a setting that I wasn't like. So this bike was not the ultimate 300 two-stroke for me. I would prefer, now kind of the stuff I'm riding, I would actually prefer an XCW if I was going to go with the 300 two-stroke, because I'm really happy with PDS and I know how to set it up, and usually I'm not trying to do a big range. I would never have my trail bike and expect to take it to a motocross track. I just know that's too big of a thing. If I wanted that, I would probably go to something with a linkage, and it probably wouldn't be orange.
Yeah.
It would probably be, I don't know what it would be. I don't know what the perfect in-between bike is anymore. Yeah, so who knows? It's a good question.
You must know how much different your kit is when you ride your Tenere.
That's the same kit I put on the back when I ride my Tenere. On my Tenere, I have saddlebags, and Mark Daniels says he thinks this is the longest show ever. You guys need to go to bed? Shit, it is late.
It's late.
Nolan, you're doing penance over here like me on this show, staying up past your bedtime. What time we riding tomorrow? Early, when it's super cold.
Super cold.
You're getting too comfortable down here in southern Nevada, all this warm weather, all this stuff. But it's supposed to rain in a couple minutes, and then it'll be nice and icy in the morning. Yeah, it is the longest show ever, Mark. We're gonna quit.
It says it's gonna rain from midnight tonight.
Perfect. You should go riding at about 1:30 tonight.
It's gonna stop about 6 a.m. So
it'll be perfect. Let's see. Good stuff. I thought it was excessive at overpacking when it comes to tools, but you got me beat. Thanks for showing me how you carry the gas bag. I'm going to carry mine like that instead of the bike. Yeah. So thanks, Jeremy. Let's see.
That's a cool way you carry the gas bag.
Mountain Biker says he loves this series, the ultimate build, and I told Matt or Don't how to work on a recluse clutch. So thank you. And that was 1 minute ago. He should be watching this. So, well, Jimmy, thank you for coming. Thank you for dragging Gary out here.
Yeah.
Because everybody, if I wasn't going to race a hare and hound, which I don't know if I'm going to do, I'd go out and ride some betas at the demo days.
Yeah, for sure.
Can I get a discount on the entry fee? Maybe like $10, $10 off.
All right.
Okay, so for $20 you can ride 7 or 8 new betas. 8 and a trials bike. You know what you should do? You should set up a trial section. This is what I would do. Set up a trial section, one that's pretty good, and if they can zero it, you give them their $20 back.
There you go.
Yeah, because that means they're a serious rider.
Yeah.
Yeah, so think about that. That's my idea. I'm always knowing how to make millions of dollars. Actually,
Giving money back.
people accuse me of repelling money, and if it was my business, you saw what I just did. So, okay. Mike came in, says he digs a long show. I have fire department training Tuesday night, so usually miss him. Oh, yeah, he was a regular listener. Well, hopefully he's not paying attention to this when he's supposed to be doing his fire department training, because I would hate to have something burned down because he was more interested in what we had to say. And with that note, Gary from Sportsman Cycle and Dynamic Dirt Suspension, go to dynamicdirt.com, right?
Yep.
Hey, how did my contract? Because I tried to get a ride at JCR last week and it didn't go very well. I told Johnny, hey, you need another fast, almost 60-year-old guy, and he said no, he's already got one allegedly. That's not you. You're B class. I was talking about A class material here.
I know who he was talking about.
Yeah, he's probably talking about himself, but I couldn't get a ride, and I noticed I plugged Sportsman Cycle a whole bunch. I was wondering what the chances are, maybe work out a little sponsorship deal.
I think the royalty check's in the mail.
Okay, in the mail.
See how it goes.
In the mail, because you got a race ready beta that I could take to the National Hare and Hound this weekend? Because my blue crew is solid. Nolan knows how fast it is. I was letting her see those wheelies today? Yeah, just like the front wheel would come up and I just couldn't put her back down. It was almost Husaberg-like.
Yeah.
Okay. So thanks everybody. Thanks everybody for joining in. It's awesome to see you guys in the chats and stuff like that. Tell your friends to subscribe, share this. I don't know what else you can do. Push like buttons or subscribe buttons and all these things, and it helps us out somehow or another. Money flows out of my computer screen. It's amazing. So go to Sportsman Cycle and buy a beta. If you need some doors in Las Vegas, talk to Jimmy. Or don't. I need to talk to you about a door too. I have a little problem. Not your problem, but my problem. And thanks, Nolan, for sitting in and watching this whole thing.
Yeah,
Did we do okay? You ready to host next week? Because you're here. You just got to talk a little bit. Just do what I do, but 90% less, and it'll be a good show. Okay, everybody. Cheers. We'll see you out in the trail. Now I got to remember how to shut this stupid show off. I push some buttons and it goes away. If you like what you saw in this video, come check us out over at dirtbiketest.com on the webs. We have bike tests, product tests, a lot of fresh dirt, and you can even support us by clicking through our links. Hopefully, we'll see you out in the trail.